It's 6 o'clock, I'm Iain. New the headlines. Elderly woman from Watford stuck in hospital despite being well. Luton police officers to face misconduct hearings and Labour concerns about their leadership election.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
A pensioner from Watford is stuck in Stoke Mandeville Hospital because of the difficulty of finding carers for her. 87-year-old Margaret Morn was given the all clear by doctors more than 2 weeks ago, but is still waiting to go home. Gail Sanderson reports.
The 87-year-old is paralysed from the waist down after a car accident 57 years ago. She was the first person to win a gold medal in the Paralympic Games in 1960, competing in archery. She now wants to get back to the home in Watford she shares with her sister, but Hertfordshire County Council has been struggling to find the right care package for her.
An investigation into whether 2 Bedfordshire police officers mistreated an autistic man they arrested has determined there is a case to answer for gross misconduct. The family of Farouk Ali want the footage of the incident released without further delay. Tony Fisher reports.
The officers involved have already been cleared in court of all charges in relation to an alleged attack on Farouk Ali outside his home in Luton. But Bedfordshire Police says its Standards Department has determined there is a case to answer for both misconduct and gross misconduct. The family have been told a public hearing will take place later this year or maybe even next year.
The 5 Labour leadership contenders are appearing at a hustings in Stevenage this morning. They're also meeting with acting leader Harriet Harman today to discuss concerns the election could be flawed and open to legal challenges. Andy Burnham says they want to clarify the situation.
This isn't a major issue. We just need to clear out the processes to make sure that they are the right processes, that they're as thorough as they need to be, and that we identify the people who are trying to claim a vote on fraudulent grounds. So it's a meeting that just needs to clear the rules so that we can move forward as a united force coming from it.
The British Heart Foundation says almost 200 working-age people die of a heart attack each week in the UK. It says in 2014 nearly 10,000 people were killed by a heart attack before they reached retirement. Dr Mike Napton from the charity says more research is needed.
There's still much more to learn, which we will only do through basic biological research to understand what causes the build-up of fatty plaque in the coronary arteries that causes a heart attack, so that we could then possibly prevent it, or if we can't prevent it, treat it.
In sport, the Milton Keynes long jumper Greg Rutherford will compete in the final of the World Athletics Championships in China today. This evening, Watford, the MK Dons and Luton Town play in the second round of the Capital One Cup. The weather will be dry and sunny this morning, turning cloudy with heavy rain later this afternoon. Top temperatures today around 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit. You can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/Three Counties.
Bear with me. Pressing play.
There. There's a delay, you see, on the computer. I don't know why, so I'm going to have to anticipate that. It's fine. We'll get there eventually. Now, as my old mum used to say,
if it don't fit, don't force it.
Morning, slackers. Wake up. I am.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC
Grabs
Three
microphone,
Counties Radio.
shakes vigorously. Great to have you back, Kelly.
Thanks, player.
Okay. Boily?
Yeah.
There's, you know. So, you know why it's a tough day today?
Yeah.
Got really tough poo I need to do.
Oh. No,
That to one side. Why does it sound
drink
funny?
lots of water.
No. So,
Soft fruits.
my sister's emigrating on Saturday to New Zealand. I'm heartbroken. And today she's going to say goodbye to my mum.
Oh.
And I said, Mum who's in a wheelchair. She's a kill. And I said, oh, you probably won't want me to come to that, thinking, oh, I don't really want to, there's going to be too many tears. Which is, by the way, is the title of my new autobiography. It should be on Amazon by the end of the week. Too Many Tears, the Iain Lee story.
And also not your department.
No, not my department, which is going to be the follow-up, strangely enough, which is going to be coming out in 6 months.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Deirdre. So, so my sister went, no, I'd like you to be there. I'm like, oh, sugar, that's going to be a tough old day. And then, to compound the misery of the day... Then we're driving to the Britwell estate in Slough, to Monksfield Way, to the house that I spent the first 11 years of my life in. We're going to go and do... What a day! And then I'm going to go home and slit my wrists.
No, you're not. You'll have some contemplating time.
Of course I'm not going to slit my wrists.
What you could always
hang
do...
myself. Yes, Kelly. This is going to be a good suggestion from Kelly Betts.
Well,
she is full of good suggestions, and I'm looking forward to this one. Kelly Betts.
You could always just FaceTime...
What, my mum?
Yeah, your mum and sister. So they leave you in the corner of the room and you're like, ah.
But I'd still be in the same room.
But you could then you could go, signal. Oh, it's gone.
Oh, man alive. Families are tough. I'm dreading my sister. And then I'm going to the airport on Saturday to say goodbye to her. Airports can be the... I'm going to say something profound.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, that was a noise, that's why.
Yep.
Airports can be the loneliest places in the world. I got told off at an airport once.
What for?
Carrying heroin.
That will get you told off, I think.
No, I didn't. I did seriously get told off at an airport once.
Why?
I had a load of guns.
No.
No, I tell you why. This woman had a gun at me and I couldn't believe it.
Why?
This was last year or the year before. And, you know, my wife goes away with the kids for a month in the summer to Greece, and I go out for a week or two, as I did this year, and then I come back. And so but I hadn't seen my boys for 3 weeks. And it was at Gatwick, I'm going to say. Or maybe it was Heathrow, one of the two.
Doesn't really matter.
Wasn't Luton. And so you've got the passageway, the alleyway, where...
What? What alley? What are you waiting in alleys
You've
for?
got Reunion Alley, where you stand behind the bars, you're looking down, the door's open.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look there. All right.
Did you not have a sign?
I have done a sign in the past,
I've
of course.
done signs.
I've done signs. And my boys were there. I've not seen them for 3
You could
weeks.
pick up all sorts with a sign. You could pick up all sorts with a sign.
Oh,
doesn't have to be for your own person.
No. Why is she here? So, anyway, so I saw my kids, and they went, Daddy!
Yeah,
and I went, kids! Yeah. And I ran towards them, and I had having a huggy. Huggy hug.
It's like the railway children, isn't it?
We're having a hug. Right? And I hugged my wife, and then I hugged the kids again. Right? And I'm a tall man.
Yeah?
And the woman said, could you get out of the way, please? I can't see who's coming.
How rude.
I said, what? That's why I ignored it, because I said, what did you say? So could you get out of the way, please? I can't see if she was like in her 70s, 60s, so her daughter was going to be old. I can't see if my daughter's coming. I went, I've not seen my boys for 3 weeks. I'm going to stand here and could you just move out of the way, please? What she could have done, she could have taken 3 steps to the left and been able to see up dark alley.
Or piped down.
Or she could have piped down.
She didn't do either of those things. Oh, wow.
Anyway, luckily I had a load of heroin and guns on me, so I was able to resolve that situation. I'm going croaky now.
I've noticed you've been keeping your distance today.
From a distance, the shortage of home carers. Those two sentences are not connected. The shortage of home carers across the county has been highlighted by the case of a pensioner from Watford who's stuck in hospital in Aylesbury. 87-year-old Margaret Morn, who's a former Paralympic champion, was given the all-clear by doctors in Stoke Mandeville more than 2 weeks ago, but is still waiting to go home. Catherine's got more on this. Why is she stuck in Stoke Mandeville?
She went to hospital back in June for some surgery. That was 10 weeks ago. And for the last week,
2 weeks, in fact, she's been well enough to go back to the home in Watford that she shares with her sister, so she's not on her own when she goes home either. But because she was in hospital for so long, the carers who normally get her in and out of bed every day have been reassigned. So Hertfordshire County Council's Social Services Department have been trying to get her new carers, so far without success, which is why she's still in this bed in Stoke Mandeville.
She's a little bit of a celeb, isn't she?
Apparently so. She's been in this wheelchair for 57 years.
She must be tired.
But, well, no, she's had lots of rest in bed recently.
Yeah, bless her.
After a car accident in Africa, she's getting fed up, actually, because she feels like she's taken up a bed that could be used for someone who really needs it. She's been in the wheelchair for 57 years after a car accident left her paralysed from the waist down. But she was one of the sort of pioneers of the Stoke Mandeville Games. She's famous for being the first person to win a gold medal in the Paralympics in 1960, competing in archery.
And why has it taken her so long to get home? I kind of know why, because I've had to deal with this as well. It's a pain.
Shortage of home carers, according to the council. Margaret has complex needs, which makes their job more difficult. And the council say they've offered her several care packages, but so far none's been suitable, and they're hopeful of finding the right one soon.
And how did this story come to light?
I found it in the Watford Observer yesterday.
Oh.
Hang
on, you've just been reading the papers?
Yeah, that's what I do. It's part of my job.
Wowzers.
It's also a pleasure. But anyway, I found the Watford Observer yesterday, and her story was in there. We rang her at Stoke Mandeville, but she didn't feel she could come on air. But she told us that she didn't blame Hertfordshire Social Services. She knew they were doing their best, but it was a national shortage that was causing these problems. Her views are backed up by Roma Mills from Carers in Hertfordshire, who we'll be talking to in the next hour. She says it's really difficult to recruit home carers in this area. She says the job is relatively low paid, and it's difficult, which we knew.
It's low paid, no one wants to do it, and it's horrible what they have to do. They're amazing, the good ones. Well, we wish Margaret the best of luck. So, going to the house that I grew up in today.
Yeah. You know it won't be decorated the same.
Oh, there better be tongue and groove there. I want to see some tongue and groove. And I posted online, I'm going to go to the house. And I was feeling a little bit emotional last night. I was tired and it had been a long day. I was missing my kids. And Danny Baker tweeted, Iain, before you go to your old house, have a listen to this song in prep for it, and it will kind of set you up for what to expect, right?
Oh, that was warm of him, wasn't it?
Well, I put this song on, Miranda Lambert. Oh, I was in my living room last night in floods of tears. It was heartbreaking. I'm talking because I'm playing the video and I'm waiting for it to queue up. Here we go. Have a listen to this.
I know they say you can't go home again. I just had to come back one last time. Ma'am, I know you don't know me from Adam, but these handprints on the front steps are mine. Up those stairs in that little back bedroom is where I did my homework and I learned to play guitar. And I bet you didn't know, under that live oak, my favorite dog is buried in the yard. I thought if I could touch this place or feel it, this brokenness inside me might start healing. Out here it's like I'm someone else. I thought that maybe I could find myself. If I could just come in, I swear I'll leave. Won't take nothing but a memory from the house that built me. Mama cut out pictures of houses for years, from Better Homes and Garden magazine. Plans were drawn and concrete poured, nail by nail and board by board. Daddy gave life to Mama's dream. I thought if I could touch this place or feel it, this brokenness inside me might start healing. Out here it's like I'm someone else. I thought that maybe I could find myself. nothing but a memory from the house that built me. You leave home, you move on, and you do the best you can. I got lost in this old world and forgot who I am. I thought if I could touch this place or feel it, this brokenness inside me might start healing. Out here it's like I'm someone else. I thought that maybe I could find myself. If I could walk around, I swear I'll leave. Won't take nothing but a memory from the house that built me.
Flippin' heck. Well, just to say, that's Miranda Lambert. That's brilliant. Oh, both me and Kath, a little bit sentimental at the moment for various reasons. Tears in the eyes. And to stop ourselves having a full-out sob there, we were telling each other we were reenacting the most inappropriate celebrity scene. We'll tell you off air, Kelly, just to say it was highly litigious, as one of those people is still alive. Now my computer won't skip to the track that I want, so I'm just going to drag you down there and have a bit of that.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The roads are clear so far this morning on the M1, and that's looking fine through the roadworks at the moment through junction 12 for Flitwick and 11 for Dunstable. No other motorway problems have been reported so far. On the A505 in Hitchin, though, it's closed in both directions between Bedford Road and Bearton Avenue. That's for water mains works. And in East Hyde on London Road, there's some temporary traffic lights at the junction for Newlands Road, so that could cause some delays. And the A40 in High Wycombe has some roadworks going on between Bradenham Road and Chorley Road, so that could also cause some problems. And there's no problem showing up at the moment on the train departure boards. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you very much indeed. Oh, let's have a crying special, shall we? Eddie just said, Ian, I'm going to New York City tomorrow. I'm crying my eyes out. Good for you. Why are you crying about? It's good there. They got brilliant record shops there. Bleecker Street is where you want to go to. Bleecker Street Records.
I don't think he's going for, I don't know, the records he might miss people.
I was in Brighton yesterday. Aren't records isn't Brighton expensive? Yeah. Everything about it is expensive. The parking, the records, the everything. What am I miming
Ice
here?
cream.
That's it. The sausages.
Oh.
I was noshing away on a sausage roll. Everything was so expensive.
Yeah.
Really expensive.
It's basically Blackpool in a party frock, though, isn't it, Brighton? It fancies itself.
Yeah, it's a bit poncy. Anyway, I'm busy, Catherine. Sorry, mate, doing the show. Your hair's looking great.
No, it's not. It's all...
No, I know. I was being polite. I'm just trying to get to the news. It's 6:18. It is Tuesday, the 25th of August. I'm Ian Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. An elderly woman is unable to leave Stoke Mandeville Hospital even though she's no longer ill because there aren't enough carers to look after her. 2 police officers are to face misconduct hearings over the way they treated an autistic man they arrested in Luton, and the 5 Labour leadership candidates will be speaking in Stevenage this morning. I can name 3, I can picture 4. Who's the 5th? Okay, Burnham, Corbyn, Liz, another lady. Who's the 5th?
Because one.
No, hang on a minute.
One stood down, didn't she?
Kelly's being political. Sorry.
Is it Yvette Cooper?
No, she's gone.
Did she go?
Let's just check.
Hang on a
She's
second.
my favourite.
Hang on a second. We need some exciting music for this because I've missed all of this. You mean stuff has happened while I've been away? Hang on, let me get some exciting music. Here we go. Okay, this is appropriate. This is actually a really appropriate song.
Let's check. Google.
No, what?
I don't want to say someone stood down if they haven't.
Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on.
What are you doing?
I'm getting some appropriate music. Here we go. It's Revolution on the panpipes.
Viva la Revolution.
Which is what's happened. So hang on. Which one was the one I fancied?
Liz, I'm thinking.
I think so. There's one I fancied. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Definitely your
okay,
category.
she's still in.
Yes.
Okay. Cooper's gone?
Well, let's just double check that.
What you're saying double check? You're looking
Daniel's son, what are you shaking your head for?
I've Googled her.
Yeah.
And I think she's still in.
Cooper's in.
Who stepped out? Oh, no, I know what happened. What I'm thinking is she decided not to go on GMTV at the last minute. Is that right? And then there's Root.
There we go. Smoothly done. Hang on a minute. Primal Scream. Jumbly Pie. You thought the song was called Jumbly Pie?
No.
Yes?
Yeah,
Jumbly
a bit.
Pie.
I did think of that a bit.
Okay. We should probably...
Yvette Cooper's still in the race. She just couldn't go on the telly. That's fine.
No, that's fine. So
we're drawing no conclusions.
That's not who is the fifth person? Beatle. Who's the fifth Beatle? Is it Pete Best? Is it George Martin?
Hang on. So we got.
Is it Neil Aspinall? We just don't know.
Burnham. Corbyn. Liz. Yvette.
Yes. Who? There's not a fifth.
There is.
Just drop one.
No, that's me trying to force a thought out.
They don't come out from that end. They come out from this end, the top end. Well, if anyone wants to give us a call, 03459 455 555.
Peter in Woolmore, though, he'll be gnashing his teeth.
He'll probably be him. Well, yeah, I just think... That's how he talks, isn't it? No, that's not. That's the guy in Police Academy 3. Bobcat Goldthwait. Anyway, we should do this, because this is... because of, otherwise the suits will get upset.
Hang on, have you got the right one?
No, I'm going to read it off the screen. An internal investigation into whether 2 Bedfordshire police officers mistreated an autistic man has determined there is a case to answer for gross misconduct. The officers have already been cleared in court of all charges in relation to an alleged attack on Farouk Ali outside his home in Luton. We've talked about this before, haven't we, Catherine? Just give us the background.
OK, so you remember that Farouk Ali is autistic and he lives with his family in Whitby Road. Routine very important for people with his condition. One of his routines is watching the bin collection, and that's what he was doing on February the 20th last year when this incident happened. So he was standing outside his house watching the bin men. He was wearing his slippers and he was taken as acting suspiciously. Luton Crown Court heard in December last year that during the officer's trial that the pair had seen him. As I say, they took his actions as being suspicious and they detained him after he tried to run away from them. An audio recording played to the court heard the 2 officers laughing as they drove after Mr. Ali. The court found that while the officers had chased after him, they were looking out for his well-being. And as a result, PC Thomas was cleared of racially aggravated assault, while both officers were cleared on a charge of misconduct in a public office. A month after the conclusion of the court case, more than 100 people took part in a march from Bury Park to Luton Police Station. They felt that justice hadn't been done.
So now the officers will go before a gross misconduct hearing, is that right?
Yeah, Bedfordshire Police asked Leicestershire Police to come in and carry out an internal investigation to make sure that it was impartial. The report's now concluded and has been signed off by the Independent Police Complaints Commission. Bedfordshire Police say there is a case to answer for gross misconduct and misconduct for PC Christopher Pitts from Bedford and PC Christopher Thomas from Welwyn Garden City. Detective Superintendent Mark Hodgson said arrangements for a misconduct hearing into the matter are currently being considered. The hearing will take place in public once all necessary arrangements have been made. All the complainants involved in the case have been and will continue to be appropriately updated as matters progress.
There's footage, isn't there, of this, and the family are calling for this to be released.
And when we spoke to Farouk Ali's brother Dobir, he told us that he'd seen this footage, but unfortunately we couldn't obtain it, so we couldn't reveal what exactly it was. But Mr. Ali's brother Dobir told us that while the misconduct hearing is a step in the right direction, he wants that footage released now. It wasn't released during the criminal trial, which was also clearly a public hearing, as the police refused. He says this does not instill public confidence or do anything for public relations with the police. As for when the hearing will be, Dobir says he has been told by the police it won't be until later this year or maybe even next year. Meanwhile, he says the officers have been suspended on full pay and he questions whether this is a good use of taxpayers' money. We'll be talking to him later on in the programme.
OK, thank you for that, Catherine. I noticed that... Kelly, it's great to see you.
Thanks,
Good to have you back.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you. Daniel San is here.
Yep.
Why are you not out there doing something?
I'm waiting for some instructions.
Sorry?
We told you, wax on, wax off.
Yeah, that doesn't work on the streets.
Use your initiative.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You could go and ask people who the 5th Labour MEP is.
Name them. But
there isn't one.
Sorry?
There isn't one.
There is, because the BBC News said it about 13 minutes ago.
Okay.
I'm the BBC. I broke the news that the tube strike was cancelled to my sister.
But I told you.
No, mate. I told my sister about 5:30 in the afternoon.
Why didn't you tell me? You know I've been worrying about that.
I couldn't be bothered. Yeah, really. Here's what you can take to the street, Daniel Sam.
Yep.
We've all had... The old people have had a little cry. You'll find it, kids. When you get older, you'll have a little cry at simple things will set you off. When you have kids and when you get old, you cry at everything, OK? And I was sobbing away at that song last night, flipping out. It was brilliant. I loved it. It was a really good cry. Proper...
Did you make a noise? Wow, that is a good one. That is a good one.
Crying can really make you feel better.
Yeah.
Brackets, that's no sob story, says the science editor. Science, my bum. It's often said that laughter is the best medicine.
Well, it depends what you got.
Unless you're asthmatic, and then it's Ventolin. Thanks very much to the fella from Cold Feet wrote that joke. Played the character... Fat Bob. Bernard Wrighton, that's it. A study found that those who wept while watching a film felt happier afterwards. When was the last time you cried, Daniel San? You're a young man. You're not supposed to cry.
Never cried in my life.
Shut up.
Never.
You're going to come here and I'll give you a slap. You'll cry now. What do you mean you've never cried in your life?
Never.
You've been dry for how many years?
22.
Okay. Well,
how many years have you been dry for, Kath?
I'm not. I can't stop the tears at the moment.
You've never watched come on, mate. There must have been a film.
A film's never set me off.
Oh, come on. Field of Dreams.
know
When
what
he
that
sees
is.
his dad.
He doesn't know what that is, mate.
Oh.
He's all blooming.
If you build it.
He's all like Super Mario Brothers and Toy Story 3.
That was sad.
You didn't cry at Toy Story 3?
No.
You have no
I
soul.
was close.
Okay, take that to the street. Just ask the question. Did you cry at Toy Story 3? Can you do that?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks very much. Always like having a new toy with him, isn't it? I like it.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's a quiet morning so far, and there are no delays at the moment through the roadworks on the M1, but they're in both directions between junction 12 for Flitwick and 11 for Dunstable, so expect that to get busy later when it starts to get busier on the roads. On the M25 junction 21A roundabout, it's starting to build up there at the North Orbital Road, and in Neaston on the North Circular Road, it's busy between the M1 at the Staples Corner flyover and Wembley. On the A40 in High Wycombe, there's some roadworks between Bradnam Road and Chorley Road, so they might cause some delays later on, but it's not causing any problems at the moment. And there are no delays showing up on the train departure boards. Matt the Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three.
Hang on a minute. What is going on? Hang on. Shh. I've got no idea. Anyway.
Across beds, cards and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 6:30. I'm Lee Agnew. The headlines: a pensioner from Watford is stuck in Stoke Mandeville Hospital because of the difficulty of finding carers for her. 87-year-old Margaret Morn was given the all clear by doctors more than 2 weeks ago, but is still waiting to go home. An investigation into whether 2 Bedfordshire police officers mistreated an autistic man they arrested has determined there is a case to answer for gross misconduct. The family of Farouk Ali want the footage of the incident released without further delay. The Labour leadership contenders are appearing at a hustings in Stevenage this morning. They're also meeting with acting leader Harriet Harman today to discuss concerns the election could be flawed and open to legal challenges. The weather will be dry and sunny this morning, but turning cloudy with heavy rain later this afternoon. Top temperatures today around 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit.
Three Counties Sport.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The Milton Keynes long jumper Greg Rutherford will compete in the final at the World Athletics Championship in China today. Since claiming gold in London, he's added the European and Commonwealth titles to his collection. A win today would make him only the 5th Briton after Daley Thompson, Linford Christie, Sally Gunnell and Jonathan Edwards to hold all 4 major titles simultaneously.
There's always extra pressure. I think every competition I go into, I put as much pressure on myself as possible because you have to deal with it. That's why I love being on the Diamond League circuit. I want to jump against the best week in, week out, because that's what's going to test me and that's what's going to help keep me consistent and performing well. And so far this year it's been pretty good on the Diamond League circuit. It's going to be an exciting final, I think.
Liverpool drew 0-0 with Arsenal in the Premier League last night. 3 of our teams play in the second round of the Capital One Cup this evening. Watford travel to Preston with manager Kike Flores, likely to give a chance to players who haven't featured in the Premier League so far.
Some players, they try, but physically it's not good. It's not really fit, absolutely to suffer 90 minutes. But okay, slowly they are going to find space in the first 11.
The MK Dons play at home to Cardiff, while Luton Town take on Premier League side Stoke at Kenilworth Road. Hatters boss John Sill says he's likely to make changes to his side and formation.
To be honest, I've got the game pretty clear in my mind, so I need to just think about that and decide really. See, it's difficult because Tuesday's a different game. We might have to play completely different. That will have nothing to do with what we do after. So I'll have to look at Tuesday.
And that's BBC Three Counties News and Sport with more at 7 o'clock.
Think it's time for a change. You may get disgusted, start thinking that I'm strange. The kids are going to the ground, get some heavy rest. Never have to worry about what is worst or what is best. Do it. Oh, domino. All right. Romeo, Romeo, there you go. Lord have mercy. I said, oh, domino. Romeo, Romeo, there you go. must mean you didn't call. Oh, vice versa, that depends on wherever you're at. And if you never hear from me, that just means I would rather not. Oh, domino, all right. Romeo, there you go. Lord have mercy. I said, oh, domino. Romeo, there you go. Hey, all right. Say it again.
Here's my rock theory. My rock theory, 2 rock theories. Every song is made better by horns. Every song is made better by horns. Fact. But here's my main rock theory. All songs called Domino are excellent.
Name another one.
Jessie J done one.
Yeah? And it was good. It was good, wasn't it?
I like that.
It was good, wasn't it?
I liked it.
It was good. How did it go? Remind me how it went.
I can't sing today, but I still throw it.
Kelly?
I can't remember.
Okay, but it was a good song. It was a good song. You can't deny it.
Yeah.
Right. Jessie J.
It probably started out quiet but punchy. What the bow bow, and then went wow.
Sorry.
That's how her songs go.
Hang on a minute. That's okay. This is it. She's she's past it now. She's a bit of a nothing now, isn't it?
Oh, don't say that.
She looks like the scary one from Shakespeare's Sister, the baddie.
I liked the baddie from Shakespeare's Sister.
The one that said, "You better hope and pray."
Yeah. So.
Siobhan. Fi.
Right.
Isn't names that are spelt wrong? Siobhan, Siobhan, and Neve.
Rosine.
I mean, I live with an Irish girl, not like that.
Nyamha.
And someone called Neve phoned up for her, so I wrote down Neve, Neve, and she Felicity laughed at me. What's all this about? What is this name here, please?
Where was she from again?
She was. Hang on. Oh no, hang on. That's the wrong thing. Sorry,
that's not Jessie J, unless she's gone for a radical new direction.
No, this is. You were right, Kelly. It's called Domino. It's a good song. All songs called Domino are good songs. There is name one Domino song that's not good.
Name another Domino song.
Domino. Awful like dominoes. Dominoes.
No.
Yeah,
that was a bit.
No, but that wasn't called Domino.
Yeah, it was. It was called Dominoes.
That was called Dominoes. Exactly. It's called Dominoes. All right, here we go. Here's one. This is great.
Let me tell you my story.
Oh, is it Matt from Luton?
Man-sized predicament. And it's a big one.
It's Kiss.
Goes like this. Yeah.
Kiss. Domino. Gotta be careful. Gets a little bit fruity. Yeah. Here we go.
Never had confession.
Boom, 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 boom.
Never had a home. Never had no worry until I met Domino.
Right.
Ain't the Virgin Mary.
I'm hovering.
What you can't see is him air guitaring in my direction.
Cause she kisses like a kiss of death.
Oh.
Yeah. Calls me Sugar Daddy.
Yeah.
Now,
okay.
That's a good song.
I like
I
it
didn't
when
think
bands.
that was a ball game. I thought it was a pub game.
I like it when bands use their own name in their songs.
I do.
Me too.
We did that. We've done that already.
Yeah.
We've done
Have
that
we?
before. Yeah, we have.
Creek Alley.
So, name one bad Domino song. You can't do it. Down the rabbit hole, that's your question. We should have sent what's that lad out to us.
Daniel.
It doesn't matter. We got rid of him, and that's the main thing.
Keep him busy.
Here's a picture of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, 5 of whom I wouldn't mind punching in the nose. It's the new X Factor team. Well, OK, the 2 of them I'm going to put to one side. Rita Ora over there. And the Flaxter upstairs. Everybody else, Grimmy, Mursey, the other lady, Cowley, biff, baff, boof, bop, karate style, what do ya?
What? War Cheryl?
What Cheryl's going?
She'd punch you back.
I know she'd punch me back. Who was it in the toilets?
It was the toilet attendant.
There we go.
The lady with the lollies.
She'd punch me and use very foul language.
That is a weird thing, isn't it? When I've washed my hands after going to the toilet, it's not the moment I fancy a lolly.
No spray, no lay.
I fancy a lolly in the toilet.
That's what she says.
Sorry?
She stands with deodorant. No spray, no lay.
Who
when
says?
you're in the club.
Who says that? No one says that
they
except
do.
for you. Just before you got sacked. Just before she got sacked. Do you remember when Kelly Betts used to work here? And then she said something really inappropriate on the radio. She got the sack. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was fun.
It was factual, though.
Okay.
Well, okay.
Okay.
I could quote some people and be sacked too.
I could have been sacked if I played the rest of this.
Walk through that door, it's the same damn.
There we go. Oh dear. They certainly look like one big happy family. They don't look like
They
a
don't.
bunch of happy families.
They look like a man and his employees.
And Simon Cowell is intent on it staying that way. As fresh pictures were released, it's like in Series 4 of a long-running sitcom, Different Strokes, Series 4. What did they do to pep it up?
Well, they all had personal problems.
Well, but that's off-screen. On-screen, what did they do to pep up Series 4 of Different Strokes?
Did they bring in a new mum or something?
They brought in a new mum and a ginger kid. Mr. D! Do you remember him? Mr. D! What did they do, Series 4 of Happy Days, to pep it up?
They brought
in a sexy mum and a kid for Fonzie to fall in love with.
Yes.
So it's either they bring in another kid
He
or...
fell in love with the mum, right?
Yeah.
checking.
Well, it was the 70s and it was set in the 50s. That was confusing.
And he was a lot older than he was
They
supposed
were
to
all
be.
in their 50s. They were all... It was filmed in the 70s, set in the 50s, yet they were all in their 40s. Happy Days.
Weird days.
Describe Happy Days in one sentence. Well, it was filmed in the 70s. Anyway, so they either get a kid, or they either get a new kid, or they get like a robot. Or what do they do? Okay, what do they do in? And this is factual. What did they do in Series 4 of Knight Rider to pep it up?
Oh, brought a woman in. Bonnie.
Bonnie was in throughout all of it.
Yeah, but she was barely in it.
They gave him each week. They gave him a special new skill. Oh, you can drive on water now, Kit. Oh, that's good. Probably won't be needing it 20 minutes later. Hooray! Then next week, I've made it, Kit, so that you can withstand temperatures up to 2,000 degrees. Oh, nice one. Won't be needing it. Hooray! I'm in an oven. I've driven my car in an oven. Luckily, Bonnie fixed it. So that's what they've done with this. They just brought in new kids, robot butlers, and they've given Grimshaw the ability to withstand temperatures up to 2,000 degrees. He won't need it though.
I don't know. Ibiza gets quite hot.
Fresh pictures were released yesterday of this year's there.
It will be all right if you like that sort of thing. I think they should just write that.
I tell you what, I do like Flacky.
Do you?
I like Flacky.
Too old for
I've
her.
worked with Flacky. I am too old for her. I am too old for her. I've worked with Flacky. She's a very nice lady. And you can't say fairer than that. Catherine, what have you found in today's newspapers,
Well,
please?
this creepy bloke living in the loft, have you seen this? Right, there are moments in a breakup when we all get a little bit unhinged, but you hopefully rein yourself in and think, right, I'm going to stop hiding in this bush now.
How did we harass exes before the internet? We used to have to we used to have to ride past their house on our bicycles.
Leave things on their doorstep.
I never went that far.
I would imagine.
I would write letters and ride past their house on my bicycle, and if they saw me, just riding past. It's a road, can't stop me. Just coincidence. Off to see my new girlfriend. Lives around there. She's fitter than you. I mean, hot. What's her name? What's her name?
She lives in Australia.
She's Sharon.
This bloke took it a little bit further.
She lives in Australia. Why are you riding around there? It's because her mum is. I'm having an affair with her mum as well. Carry on with the story.
A horrified woman yesterday told how she found her former boyfriend had sneaked into her house while she was out and set up home in her loft.
Oh my God.
Don't. This is awful.
If you've ever set up home in your ex's loft, 03459 455 555.
Marie, I just kept his Cranberries CD. That was his brother's and caused him a problem.
I just kept his cranberries in a jar. He's not getting them back. Oh!
Marie Wright, 28, had been dating Alexander Cooper, 27, for 5 months, but then asked him to move out, saying she needed space. Oh, dear.
No.
He agreed to stay with his dad, but within days she noticed that food and bedding was going missing. Toilet paper and packets of fags also vanished. Marie and her housemate...
Does it say packet of fags in the newspaper?
No.
All right.
The Express hasn't got there yet, but, if you read it elsewhere, you might find that. Marie and her housemate Sarah Walton suspected each other at first. Have you nicked my fags? No. But when they put tape across cupboard doors and later found it had been tampered with, they called the police.
Yeah, you
Marie
have to.
recalled, "We realised it was serious and someone had been in our house. Officers found dirty fingerprints on the attic door of the house in Sheffield, but according to the girls, failed... Stop it.
No spray, no lay.
Failed to spot Cooper's hideaway behind a boiler. Tiny man. Brazen Cooper even popped round and pretended to show concern about the
Brazen
shape...
Cooper, the actor?
No, he's brazen.
From the A-Team film?
No.
Brazen Cooper, it's his name, isn't it? Brazen Cooper, he's dishy.
No.
He's the face man, Brazen Cooper.
No, don't, because Brazen Cooper's going to sue us. He's not hiding anyone's loft behind a boiler. This is Alexander Cooper, 27.
Okay.
Who's brazen, but not brazen.
Okay,
but he's not. He is brazen.
You're really going to have to hurry up. We're so late for Trav.
Listen to this, though.
I'm not really
he
that.
even popped round and pretended to show concern about the weirdo in her loft. There's a line there. He's pole vaulted over it.
Yeah, exactly. This flipping computer's not doing... Oh, there we go. Thank you, computer. Thank you, computer.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's starting to get busier on the M25 anti-clockwise from junction 20 for Kings Langley to 19 for Watford. And also the North Orbs Road is busy at the M25 junction 21A roundabout. And in Luton on Airport Way, starting to have queues build up around the Holiday Inn roundabouts. And in Hitchin on Hexton Road, it's slow eastbound between the Upper Tilehouse Street and Watton Road West. On the train platforms, there are no delays showing up at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy.
News for beds.
What is going on? Why is it doing that?
BBC Three Counties
I know
Radio.
why. I know why. Kelly, I've mucked up the computer, mate. Oh, this blooming thing. Oh, if I can drag you over there. Hang on. I know why it's doing that. I can't get rid of Cart A. I don't know if there's anything you can do, but I can do this. New computers, eh? Flipping it. What a waste of money that was. Right, where are we? 6:48. It is Tuesday, the 25th of August. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. An elderly woman is unable to leave Stoke Mandeville Hospital even though she's no longer ill because there aren't enough carers to look after her. 2 police officers are to face misconduct hearings over the way they treated an autistic man they arrested in Luton. And Milton Keynes long jumper Greg Rutherford is going to try and do a really, really long jump today. 03459. He is! That's what he's doing!
It's his job.
It's his job, and he's brilliant at it, and I wish him the very best of luck.
Beds, hearts and bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Good morning. It's a pleasant start across all 3 counties, actually. A brief bit of respite following yesterday's rain, but it's not going to stay like this. So if you're heading out at the moment, not due to come back till later, it's worth taking precautions because it's going to end up rather wet and windy by the time you come home. So for this morning, some sunshine, like I said, bit of respite before the cloud moves in from the south and the west and before a band of rain arrives. Some heavy bursts through the afternoon, an increasing breeze as well as southwesterly. So feeling quite unpleasant actually by the end of the day. However, the temperature's not faring too badly at all, still looking at a maximum of 18 Celsius. Now overnight tonight, some rain still to come, but we'll have a drier spell before our next bout of potentially quite heavy rain arrives through the early hours of tomorrow morning, becoming really breezy by the end of the night, and minimum temperature in the countryside down to around 13, but towns and cities actually not dropping down too far from today's maximum at around 15 Celsius. So for tomorrow, it's a wet start. It's a bit of a backwards on today. Wet to start with tomorrow without breaks of rain, but they will push eastwards, and behind it, it's going to become drier with some sunshine tomorrow afternoon. But that in turn, we do run the potential of maybe 1 or 2 sharp showers tomorrow evening. But the maximum temperature, an improved one, at 22 Celsius. And that's your forecast.
even if you can't get to the match.
Already, we're hearing stories of Watford fans saying that they are going to struggle to get here.
Or listen to the commentary.
Got quick feet, hasn't he? Quick feet and good skill and good vision.
You can still keep up to date with your local team with Three Counties Sport.
There is the half-time whistle. It's 0-0. Plenty to ponder.
Follow us on Twitter to get all the team news.
There's 2 changes from the team that won at Barnet on Saturday.
Goals as they happen.
Trying to make room for the shot. Bury it into the corner of the net. Super goal from Luton Town.
And reaction at the final whistle.
Momentum changes very quickly in these games, and we're disappointed for that.
Twitter.com/BBC3CR and stay up to date with your local team.
Can I just try a musical experiment? I was singing a song. A song popped into my head. Singing it to the boys. And they went, "That sounds like a good song, Daddy. Sing more of it." And all I knew was one tiny little refrain from this song. And they said, "Is that a good song?" It sounds like... I said, "Do you know what? I haven't heard this song for about 30 years. I don't know if it's a good song." About 25 years. "I don't know if it's a good song or not. I remember liking it. I've not heard it since. I've just bought it for 99... Bless you. I've just bought it for 99 pence on iTunes. Would you indulge me and allow me to play it?"
Do it.
It's from... no, hang on a second. Here we go. Recognise it? Recognise it?
Yeah, I know all the words.
Do you? Is it a good song?
I love it.
Let's have a little bit of this then, isn't it? Yeah, sweet.
I know this pain. Why do you lock yourself up in these chains? No one can change your life except for you. Don't ever let anyone step all over you. Just open your heart and your mind. Is it really fair to feel this way inside? Oh, someday somebody's gonna make you wanna turn around and say goodbye. Until then, baby, are you gonna let him hold you down and make you cry? Don't you know, things will change, things will go your way if you hold on for one more day. Can you hold on for one more day? Things will go your way. Hold on for one more day. You could sustain, or are you comfortable with the pain? You got no one to blame for your unhappiness. No, baby, you got yourself into your own mess. Let your worries pass you by. Don't you think it's worth your time to change your mind? No. Someday somebody's gonna make you wanna turn around and say goodbye. Until then, baby, are you gonna let him hold you down and make you cry? Don't you know, things will change, things will go your way if you hold on for one more day. If you hold on for one more day, things will go your way. Hold on for one more day. I know that there is pain, but you hold on for one more day and you break free from the chains. Yeah, I know that there is pain, but
Do you know what, Jamie? I was looking for the jam. I can't find any. Sorry about that.
Hold on for one more day, 'cause it's gonna go away.
Yeah, that stands the test of time. Both of you girls was miming to that like you was on top of the pops.
Now, I'd be giving it 6 out to that if I had my full voice today.
That's all right, isn't it? That's good. It stood the test of time, that. I like that.
Good, yeah.
I like that. Hold on. Oh, and the end dices. Oh, no, it fades out. I thought they ended with the Acapulco. Hang on, do the harmony. Hold on. Do the harmony. Hold on. No. You go down. Hold on for one more. Who's doing? No, who's doing?
I've got.
You do the.
I'll do the high one.
Can I do?
You do the melody.
Squeak?
You do the melody. You do the high one, and I'll do the low one. No, it's got that's ragga. Hold on for one more day. There we go.
Beautiful.
Great harmonies. And thanks to Spinal Tap for writing those last 2 minutes of radio. Just in case anyone didn't pick up the reference, let me ram it home.
Other sounds that drive you bonkers.
Yeah.
Tinkling cowbells.
Tinkling. I know, I like a good tinkle.
Well, the cows don't.
No.
This is what the animal rights people are getting involved in this now. First of all, they took up...
Animal rights this, animal rights that. If you love animals so much, why don't you go and marry them, you pervert?
They wanted to take away the fighting cocks.
Hey.
Now this. Traditional tinkling cowbells are cruel and drive alpine cows mad, German activists say, and they're demanding GPS trackers are attached instead.
Oh, flip. Who cares if alpine cows are mad? I mean, really, in the great...
How can you tell?
In the great scheme of things, because they try and invade that field over there or something, he said, trying to make a vaguely German kind of vibe there. Well, that's great. Why don't they go and save a deaf kid? You know,
because they're only into animals.
Yeah, exactly. Why don't you go and feed an old man who's starving?
Could feed him a cow.
Thank you.
They wouldn't do that.
I love meat, and I cannot believe I was an idiot to not have eaten it for 27 years. I wasn't an idiot. I had principles back then. I haven't got principles now. Some of the brown stuff I was quaffing while I was away. Oh, no idea what it was.
Don't ask.
I'll have that, that, and that. Is it on a stick? I'll have 2 of them. Beautiful. Just rack 'em up. Rack 'em up. That's what it's all about. Not really. 2 suicides linked to the leak of Ashley Madison emails. No one's laughing now, are they? It's going to end in tragedy.
Well, train worker Joe Foster has gone 65 years without what?
A poo.
No.
A train.
No.
A wee.
No.
A sleep.
Stopping.
No.
A sandwich.
No.
A holiday.
No.
A girlfriend.
No.
A boyfriend.
No.
So he's had loads of boyfriends and girlfriends.
I don't know what his pattern has been for 65 years.
Can I ask a question? Did he have a spray? Because if he didn't have a spray, then I think we know what he's been lacking for the last 65 years, don't we, Kels?
We do, yeah.
Your job?
Yeah.
Train worker Joe Foster has gone 65 years without...
Playing Sudoku?
No.
Rice pudding?
No.
Cheese?
No.
Nintendos.
No.
Friends?
No.
Arms?
Seeing his mum.
No.
Oxygen?
No, he'd be dead.
Clothes.
Is he dead or alive?
Alive.
Okay. Is he in films?
No.
Is he a man or a woman?
Man.
Does he wear glasses?
I'm going to say yes.
Is it Ronald?
TV or films? What has he done?
Train worker. He's in trains.
Right, just tell me the answer.
Oh, without a car?
No.
Tell me the answer after this.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The M25 is busy anti-clockwise between junction 21 for the M1 and 19 for Watford. Also on the A1 southbound in Borehamwood, there are queues from the Holiday Inn towards Barnet Lane at the Stirling Corner. And in Luton, it's busy on Airport Way. There are queues around the Holiday Inn roundabout. And having a look at New Bedford Road on the speed sensors, that's also quite slow from Montrose Avenue towards the A6. There's no reported problems on the trains at the moment though. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. Well, we're just going to have to wait patiently like good boys and girls to find out what that gentleman who works in trains has not had for 65 years. Oh, I think I know. Is it?
No.
Oh.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 7 o'clock, I'm Lee Agnew. The headlines: elderly woman from Watford stuck in hospital despite being well. Luton police officers to face misconduct hearings, and Labour concerns about their leadership election.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
A pensioner from Watford is stuck in Stoke Mandeville Hospital because of the difficulty of finding carers for her. 87-year-old Margaret Morn was given the all-clear by doctors more than 2 weeks ago, but is still waiting to go home. Gail Sanderson reports.
The 87-year-old is paralysed from the waist down after a car accident 57 years ago. She was the first person to win a gold medal in the Paralympic Games in 1960, competing in archery. She now wants to get back to the home in Watford she shares with her sister, but Hertfordshire County Council has been struggling to find the right care package for her.
An investigation into whether 2 Bedfordshire police officers mistreated an autistic man they arrested has determined there is a case to answer for gross misconduct. The family of Farouk Ali wants the footage of the incident released without further delay. Tony Fisher reports.
The officers involved have already been cleared in court of all charges in relation to an alleged attack on Farouk Ali outside his home in Luton. But Bedfordshire Police says its Standards Department has determined there is a case to answer for both misconduct and gross misconduct. The family have been told a public hearing will take place later this year, or maybe even next year.
The Labour leadership contenders are appearing at a hustings in Stevenage this morning. They're also meeting with acting leader Harriet Harman today to discuss concerns the election could be flawed and open to legal challenges. The former Labour Home Secretary Charles Clarke says it's a disaster.
We've got legal challenges. I think there may still be further legal challenges about the process. Issues about who can vote, who can't vote. Many party members who've been active for years distressed to see people who've been campaigning against the party with an equal vote to them in these circumstances. I don't think Harriet's done it very well. I think the changes Ed Miliband brought in were a mistake, and many people argued that at the time, and there'd been a series of mistakes of this kind.
The British Heart Foundation says almost 200 working-age people die of a heart attack each week in the UK. It says in 2014, nearly 10,000 people were killed by a heart attack before they reached retirement. Dr Mike Napton from the charity says more research is needed.
There's still much more to learn, which we will only do through basic biological research to understand what causes the build-up of fatty plaque in the coronary arteries that causes a heart attack, so that we could then possibly prevent it, or if we can't prevent it, treat it.
In sport, the Milton Keynes long jumper Greg Rutherford will compete in the final at the World Athletics Championships in China today. This evening, Watford, the MK Dons and Luton Town play in the second round of the Capital One Cup. And the weather will be dry and sunny this morning, turning cloudy with heavy rain later this afternoon. Top temperatures today around 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Catherine, Scott asks, is it a nut cut?
No.
Will we ever find time to find out what the gentleman who works on the trains has gone without for 65 years? Will we? Morning, Iain Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio, as we clamber out of the rabbit hole. What, you've only just tuned in? Oh, you missed so much. You missed us all having a good cry at a country and western. Well, the old people having a good cry at a country and western song. The kids were busy playing Pokemon and drinking hooch. They've just gone off to Nissa to ask some elderly people if they'll buy booze for them. Busy show this morning. If you want to take part, you can give us a call about anything, really. 03459 455 555. I'm going to watch my sister say goodbye to my mum today. Potentially the last time they meet. I mean, flipping it. That's a big one. Potentially the last time my sister and my mum meet, and man alive. That's going to be a tough one, guys. And then I'm going to the house that I spent the first 11 years of my life in. I'm going to see ghosts today. Actual ghosts. I'm welling up even thinking about it. 03459 499. No, hang on. Let me try again. Hang on. Take everyone up to this. 03459 455 555. That'll do.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Lot of comps on the Wilson Phillips there.
Yeah.
A lot of comps on
It's
the
a
Wilson.
good song.
Is the album any good?
Oh, I wouldn't know about that.
Probably a little bit.
I'd leave it.
Probably a little bit stinky. Okay. I'll crack on, shall I?
I would.
Thank you very much indeed. 03459 455 555. Now, Watford pensioner is stuck in Stoke Mandeville Hospital in Aylesbury, despite having been well enough to go home for a fortnight. 87-year-old Margaret Morn is blocking a bed because of a shortage of home carers, and she's not happy about it. Trouble is, while she was in hospital, the people that used to help her have been reassigned. Well, Roma Mills is from Carers in Hertfordshire. Morning, Roma.
Good morning, Ian.
I heard this story yesterday, and I'm not that surprised. My mum, when she was in hospital, this was like 12, 13 years ago, she was in hospital for about a month before they could get together a care package. How common is it?
Well, I think we know there's more than 100 people in the west of Hertfordshire waiting for a home care package. Now, they won't all be in hospital, some of them will be at home. And there's real pressure on that service. And I guess there's all sorts of reasons behind that, really. Home care isn't wonderfully well paid. We don't value our home care workers perhaps as well as we should. And perhaps it doesn't look like a very attractive career to young people. And at the same time, we don't suffer from low employment in Hertfordshire. So there's not lots of people out there looking for jobs. And perhaps home care just doesn't look that attractive to someone entering the job market.
It isn't, having seen firsthand what home carers have to do, it's not a nice job. I mean, it's very rewarding, and in terms, of helping people and what they achieve. But they do have to do some pretty grim things, don't they? For not very much money.
I think it's a very responsible job. The feedback we get from families is that the home carers they know are committed, are hard-working, are very reliable people. I can remember a couple of years ago when we had very bad snow at Christmas and over the winter period, home care workers got themselves out to their clients to make sure they were safe.
Yeah.
So it is a very demanding job, and yes, you're helping people with high levels of personal care. You may be supporting people with dementia. It demands skills. We demand an awful lot of people without really giving them that value and recognising the enormous commitment, enormous value of the things that they do.
How much does a carer get on average? I know it's different from different agencies, but what do they get?
Well, the county council have really worked hard to try and improve the way that improve employment for home care workers in Hertfordshire, and most of them now would be well over £7 an hour. But having said so, more like the living wage, shall we say, than the minimum wage. But it's still not wonderful money for the work that's involved.
No.
I mean, there's also, at one time, home care workers, in some agencies, had to pay for their own uniforms, didn't get pay between visits. Now, that's being addressed. So the county have taken on board the need to improve terms and conditions of employment, but at the same time, this remains a relatively low-paid job, and people may well prefer to go into retail work or something quite different than take on a one-to-one, personal role with a range of clients living in difficult situations. But that's crucial, actually, because if we want people to live comfortably and safely at home, and that's what all the policies are now there, then you need a well-skilled, well-rewarded workforce to make that possible. Without that workforce, it just isn't possible.
What do you think, Roma? Are there... I'm not saying it's an epidemic, but there will be more cases like this of elderly people or ill people who are in hospital beds when actually they don't need to be, but there's just no one there to look after them.
Well, I mean, the hospitals themselves are very concerned about this. I was looking at some figures from 2013. At that time, almost half the people in acute hospital beds didn't need to be there. Now, that didn't mean they could have all have gone home. They might have been waiting for a residential care bed, or they might have been waiting for, a downstairs loo or a stair lift or something. But some of them would have been waiting for that right home care package. And what we're seeing now is people are... we're all living longer, which is a great thing, particularly for you and I who want to go on living longer. It's a great thing, but older people are often quite frail. There's high incidence of dementia. So, the needs of people are changing. It's more complex. The work you're having to deliver in the home is more demanding. Again, we've got good projects going, like Home First, when you're getting multidisciplinary teams, clinical teams going into the home, but the core to that is that home care worker, and without that, it's not going to work. And we know we have an ageing population, so we really do need to address the problems of recruitment in care generally. And I would say this isn't only in social care. There are problems of recruitment in nursing as well across Hertfordshire, and this needs it needs some really good strategic thinking to make it work better for all of us.
Roma, keep on doing the good work that you do and keep on encouraging those people that you work with. Thank you very much indeed. Roma Mills from Carers in Hertfordshire, 03 459 455 555. Now, before we went to the news, Catherine was teasing me. She was also telling us a story about an old man on a train. Would you like some music to help ease us through this thing?
Am I going to do the big reveal now?
Sorry?
Is this train music?
I think so. This bit. That's my favourite bit. Sing along. Boom, boom. Sing along with me, okay? Ready? Chorus. Go on, say to me, is this train music?
Is this train music?
Sorry?
Is this train music?
Sorry?
Is this train music?
Sorry? No, it's the theme tune to Sorry.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Do you not remember Sorry?
No, well, I remember Language Timothy.
Language Timothy!
My gran used to watch it. It was just on.
Oh, no, Sorry was funny. It was like a 45-year-old virgin. Oh, there we go.
Living with his mum.
Yeah, Sorry was good. Sorry was one of those few 80s sitcoms that was actually funny.
No, it was on at the time of night when it meant I was going to have to go home to bed, and my grandma would sing the rhyme that I dreaded, which was school in the morning, cats playing the organ, which doesn't scan.
Why would she wouldn't have said that when Sorry was on, because Sorry was on a Friday night. Boom! Do, 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 do.
She said it all the time. She just liked to torment me. I didn't know what day it was.
Anyway, the music's run out now, and you've not done the.
We'll start it again. And this time, let's not talk about Sorry.
Okay, hang on a second. Okay, let's. Okay, wait. Okay, here we go. Right, let's start it again. Right. Go on.
Is this different?
Nope.
It's different the second time. Maybe you just get into it more.
It's a theme tune to Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Go.
Train worker Joe Foster has gone 65...
Is it a man or a lady?
Joe.
Yeah, is it a man
It's called Joe with an E. That's normally a man, right?
I couldn't see the E, mate.
I'm telling you it. It's got an E.
Okay, thank you, buddy.
Joey. Joe. If you listen carefully, you can hear the E. Joe. Hear it? Joe. Train worker Joe Foster, man, has gone 65 years without taking what?
I don't know, mate. We played the game. None of us know.
A day off. Sick.
I said that.
Sick.
I said the
Sick.
holiday.
No, it's
I
not
said
holiday. It's not holiday.
I said holiday.
It's not, I mean, for you, sometimes it's holiday. Oh, I'm ill. In Ibiza.
I can't come in. I can't come in because I'm not feeling very well today.
Oh, is that the beach I hear? No, this...
There's that joke, isn't there? I'm not going to tell it. Can't come in today. But if the guy phones at the bus, can't come in today. Why not? I'm sick. How sick are you?
Oh! I mean, that's beyond cheeky, that. That's just... Do
you like that one, Kels? You like that, Kelly?
Yeah, that's good, thanks.
You'd have said that on air.
I know.
If you hadn't already got the sack.
If the woman in the loo had said it. Flipping heck. I mean, that...
It's a good joke. It's a good joke.
It wasn't though, was it? Because you'd have to call. I mean, you'd call someone, wouldn't you?
Well, no. I'd let them get on with it. I'd let me get on with it. Anyway, carry on, please. So, you did it. You had another day off sick.
The 81-year-old's first job.
What a massive bum lick.
Was listen to this. The 81-year-old. He's 81 now. First job was at 15, delivering parcels before he served in the army and worked for a local council. I don't know why they're telling us that. Was he off sick all the time then? It's just the trains. I love the trains.
What an amazing little fella.
Great-grand...
There's not enough people like that now.
Wait for this, right?
Do-gooders.
People ringing sick willy-nilly.
What?
If you willy-nilly, you would.
Instead, hey, come on. Let's go. Let's just go gaze above the waist, please. That's my philosophy on life, anyway. Oh.
Great-granddad Joe, who cycles to work every day, has been with Southeastern for the past 31 years. He has no plans to retire from his role helping travellers at St Mary Cray Station in South London.
Okay.
Saying, I love my job.
There's nothing wrong with having a day off sick. even
if you're sick, you should be coming in contaminating everyone else.
Well, exactly. And yet you've come in and you've got fleas. And the thing is, if I don't work, I don't get paid.
I've got a sore throat. I just won't snog Kelly today.
The best bit coming in. I mean, really, that's what it's all about.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M25, it's busy anti-clockwise between junction 17 for Maple Cross and 16 for the M40, and it's also busy on the North Orbital Road in Bricket Wood at the M25 junction 21A roundabout at the moment. In Luton on Airport Way, there are queues at the Holiday Inn roundabout, and also in Hitchin, it's very busy on Hexton Road at the moment, eastbound between Upper Talhouse Street and the A505 and Hitchin Road. It's looking very busy on the speed sensors, but on the train departure boards, there aren't any delays showing up at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. 7:16, nearly on time. That's the first. It is Tuesday, the 25th of August. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. An elderly woman is unable to leave Stoke Mandeville Hospital even though she's no longer ill because there aren't enough carers to look after her. 2 police officers are to face misconduct hearings over the way they treated an autistic man they arrested in Luton. And the Labour leadership candidates are speaking in Stevenage this morning. Now, we've gone down from 5 to just the Labour lead. There aren't 5, are there? Do we think someone, no names, no pack drill, did a boo-boo on the first suggestion there were 5? Sorry, you're eating a cake. I do apologise for interrupting.
Don't apologise, it's delicious.
Oh, flip it. I mean, just what's the point of coming in?
It's all about the food.
We're in the kitchen, the actual kitchen here at BBC Three Counties Radio.
Nick Coffer's Weekend Kitchen.
I have a confession to make.
Go on.
I don't like blue cheese.
But
I love this.
Local chef showcasing simple, straightforward dishes you can try at home.
Gooseberry crumble, Thai noodle salad and easy lemon tiramisu. All of those recipes, as always, available on our recipe sheet.
Good home cooking that everyone can do, but it's so tasty.
The reason that I put coconut water in there was just actually to slacken off the sauce a little bit as I was cooking it.
It's milder and it's creamier and it's sweeter. You're definitely right, it's sweeter. And it doesn't taste of feet.
Nick Coffer's Weekend Kitchen, every Sunday morning from 11 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
I don't know what's happened to the phone calls. We don't get any, and then when we do, it's this tired old prune. Good morning, Matthew.
Morning.
Now, you owe us an apology.
Do I?
Yes, you do, mate.
Oh, about yesterday?
Yes, about yesterday.
Oh, yeah, well, that wasn't my fault. It was to do with the technology of the world.
It was, for those who don't know, Matthew was one of the premier contestants on iPod Roulette, a brand new game I made up just for this station. And all you had to do, Matt, was have an iPod.
Just play a game anyway.
Sorry?
Why don't you just play a pop quiz?
Play a pop quiz?
Just do a pop quiz.
A pub quiz.
Yeah.
All we could do. Here's a fun thing we could do, Matt.
Ask the questions.
Yeah, here's a fun thing we could do, Matt. We could do a rolling quiz where I set up 5 questions, and then you come on. If you can answer all of the questions, then you get to set the next question.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, it's not a bit of fun. Never happening.
Yeah, but it's not.
Will you say sorry?
Not to you.
Who? Okay.
I'll say sorry to Kelly because I let her down.
Okay, then I'm going to put Kelly on the line. Kelly, you're live on BBC Three Counties Radio, despite recently losing your job for inappropriate language. Matthew, you're through to Kelly. What would you like to say to her?
Kelly, I'm very sorry. I let you down, and of course he gave you a load of stick and he gave me abuse, which he's very good at.
You're welcome.
That's all right. Thank you.
None taken.
Iain, what I want to talk about the carer.
Okay, yes.
You know it's my favourite subject.
Well, it's a strange favourite subject to have.
Well, this carer business, it's all wrong because you've got nurses who earn 28,000, 30,000 a year.
Yeah.
A carer is a person which is really a nurse, as good as a nurse.
Well,
not as qualified as a nurse.
Yeah, without the medical qualifications, of course.
But a carer, if you've got to have a good carer, she should be paid a proper wage.
One of my mum's carers, two of them nicked loads of jewellery from her. Another one nicked loads of clothes and sold them at a car boot sale. And another one, I'm working in reverse order of heinous crimes. Said, what do you want for lunch? I'll have some pasta. All right, I'll do some pasta. Put the pasta in front of my mum and went, right?
Yeah, but I had
Can I finish? It was dry pasta. She hadn't boiled it. It was just dry pasta. So some of them, right, so let's get real about this. Cut the mac. Let's get real about this. Some of the carers, a lot of the carers, are flipping brilliant and do a brilliant job and go above and beyond, and they don't get paid enough, and they have to wipe people's backsides, and they have to clear up mess, and they have to change sheets, and they have to dress people, and they have to do all kinds of horrible stuff, right? There are some dodgepots, though, as well, who haven't got a flipping clue.
Yeah, but you've got to suss the dodgy ones out of you.
Well, I've just...
And that's down to the management.
In the space of a year, I've just given you examples of 4 dodgepots, one of whom went to prison.
Yeah, but you're tarring everybody with the same brush.
No,
here.
I'm not, Matt, because if you'd listened...
Yes, you are. You're so prejudiced.
No, I'm not. No, if you'd listened to what I said...
I am listening.
Okay. No, you're not hearing what I said because you're being... No, you're not, Matt, because you're being really selective. Because I made a very specific point of saying that most of them are very good people. So I'm not tarring them all with the same brush. I'm tarring all of the bad ones with the same brush, yeah. Kick them off a cliff. Seriously, stealing $3,000 from my mum... and they're not getting it back, kick them off a cliff. Go on, I don't want people like that hanging around vulnerable people. Serving a bowl of pasta that's just dry pasta from the... kick them off a cliff.
Yeah. I'm not disputing that here.
So it's the second apology you owe me.
Do you know, I don't know why I bother phoning you. You can't even get a word in edgeways. You can be so... you can be like a bad nurse. But I still like you. And you're only on £6.50 an hour, which is a shame. Like a poor carer. So I'm going now. Goodbye, Ian. Look after yourself.
Tough, mate. Oh, are you all right, Paul?
He's gone. Well, that's ended peacefully.
Was he flirting with you?
I think he was flirting.
There was a touching moment, wasn't there?
Well, had you been in the room, there would have been, yes.
I like you.
The thing is, I sprayed. Prior to that call, I sprayed, and it really paid off.
I wish you wouldn't spray in there.
I've got... No, it doesn't matter. Where are we going now?
Texas?
What? Oh, we're not going to go to a story?
Yes, as soon as someone...
let's do some Texas while someone... What Texas have you got? Catherine Boyle, isn't it?
Steve.
Yes. Hello, Steve.
Has he gone 65 years without visiting a railway station? No. Same Steve.
That's very funny, Steve. Thank you for that.
Same Steve. Has he gone 65 years without a pension?
That's not so funny. I'd have just stuck with the railway station. That made me laugh.
Muffin Hanslope. I may have misheard the German activist story, but are they suggesting...
These are the ones that are upset that German cows in the mountains have to wear those
traditional cowbell.
The traditional cowbell. Yeah.
Cowbells.
Arus.com.
Cowbells
/
have been the sound of the Alpines. The Alps.
The Alps.
Along with those great big...
Of course they have.
For years, but apparently they're driving the cows mad. Right.
Stop being so shallow and fatuous.
Can't help it. Muffin Hanslope.
One of the guests refused to come on the show yesterday, saying we were shallow and fatuous.
After listening to us filling because he wasn't answering his phone.
But he says shallow and fatuous as though that's a bad thing. I take that as genuinely as a great compliment. Yeah, shallow. Most of my favourite things are shallow and fatuous. What do you think is going on today's show?
He also said we sounded like a load of mates messing about in a pub.
Again,
Excellent.
can we get that quote on a poster somewhere?
Job done.
Quick, get to the things. I want to do this next story. Go.
Maff in Hanslow was taking a sideways look at the cowbell story.
Okay, Maff.
I may have misheard... You didn't mishear it. He's going to do a funny.
Here we go. I like this.
I may have misheard the German activist story, but are they suggesting the bell causes mad cow disease? Or is the evidence based on the image on the packs of laughing cow cheese triangles? Maff in Hanslow.
Maff, I'm going to have to ask you to stop texting us for a period of 24 hours. Really have a long, hard look at your text history, and do you really want to be responsible for those? I don't think so. Now, an internal investigation into whether 2 Bedfordshire police officers mistreated an autistic man they mistook for a criminal has found that there is a case to answer for gross misconduct. It's a story we've been talking about here for ages, for months and months and months. The officer's already been cleared in court of all charges in relation to an alleged attack on Farouk Ali outside his home in Luton. Farouk's brother, Dobir Ali, joins me now. Morning, Dobir.
Morning.
Give us your thoughts on the way this story is progressing.
Obviously, this has been going on for quite some time. Now, there's an internal misconduct hearings taking place. So there is a case to answer for. We're just hoping that this misconduct hearing takes place as quickly as we hope it does, because it's been dragging on for nearly come to 2 years.
Is it 2 years?
It will be 2 years next year.
Next year?
When the misconduct hearing will take place, they said it'll be early or late this year or early next year.
I see. Thank you, yeah. And just remind us, so Farouk is, he's autistic, he's vulnerable, he's a grown man, and as strange as it may seem to some people, one of his things is he likes to watch the bins being picked up and taken out, doesn't he?
That's right, because they're autistic people, they've got a set routine, you see, and they do that quite oftenly. And one thing he does, he actually helps the bin man and the neighbours as well, takes the bin and puts the bins back.
And on this day in question, some police thought he was up to no good, and they arrested him. And the confusion is to exactly how potentially aggressive they were towards your brother. Is that right?
Well, they didn't arrest him. They obviously they thought he was someone else, or a robber or a burglar, and they made contact with him, and from there it just sort of developed.
Now, what's this? There's footage of this, isn't it? Were they wearing those little cameras on their chests?
No. What happened was, because it's the ANPR vehicle which carries camera in the vehicle, and the vehicle camera was on, and you could hear and you could see what they were doing.
Right.
And on that video, you could see that my brother was walking away, and they turned around and, laughing, giggling. And this is why it's very, very important that the video is released. And you could see...
What are they saying? Are they going to release the video? Or are they kind of they're saying they're not going to? Where are we with that?
Well, in relation to the video, they're saying they're not going to release it yet until the internal investigation is over, and then they may consider releasing that. And my question is, the video was played in a public court. Public had access to a court, and they heard it and looked to come in, and they still don't want to release it. And my question is, how will that jeopardize investigation when it was already played in the court, and when it was already people heard it in the court as well?
This must be very frustrating for you and your family. How's your brother doing?
Yeah, I mean, it is frustrating. A lot of pressures on the family. My brother, he's actually getting better now, slowly. So there's a lot of pressures on the family at the moment.
All right. Well, listen, Dobby, keep in touch. Do we know when the hearings... The hearing... It's so confusing. The investigation has happened, and so now we're waiting for the hearing. Any idea when that's going to be?
Well, we don't know yet. I received a letter saying that it's most likely to be late this year or early next year.
They like dragging it out, don't they?
They do. And like I said, if it is early next year, that's going to be 2 years.
Oh, man alive. Dobby, listen, it just frustrates me because, and you know, I'm not even particularly involved in this story, and I often think that with things like this, they drag these things out. I don't know if this is true with this case because they're just hoping that everyone goes away, you know,
and lose interest in it.
Yeah. Oh, it was years ago. We're not going to wait another 6 months. You keep fighting for your brother, Dobby, and you keep hanging in there, and let us know how it goes.
I will. And
Thank
just
you.
let you know, there will be a public meeting this Wednesday.
Yeah, go on. Where's that?
That's going to be at Bay Park Community Centre.
All right. Nice one, Dobby. Listen, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much indeed. They do drag these things out. They just sort it out. Come on. 03459 455 555.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The M25 is very busy anti-clockwise between junction 21 for the M1 and 19 for Watford, and the A1 is slow southbound from the Holiday Inn towards the Stirling Corner. Checking the speed sensors in Luton, and Airport Way still has queues around the Holiday Inn roundabout. In Hitchin on Hexton Road, it's slow between at the Upper Tilehouse Street, and on the speed sensors in Harpenden, the High Street's busy in both directions, and so is St Albans Road. No reported problems on the trains at the moment though. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 7:30. I'm Lee Agnew. The headlines: a shortage of carers means an elderly woman can't go home from Stoke Mandeville Hospital, even though she's well. 87-year-old Margaret Morn was given the all-clear by doctors more than 2 weeks ago. 2 Bedfordshire police officers will face a misconduct hearing over the way they treated an autistic man. The officers have already been cleared of assaulting Farouk Ali. And the Labour leadership contenders are appearing at a hustings in Stevenage this morning. They're also meeting with acting leader Harriet Harman today to discuss concerns the election could be flawed and open to legal challenges. The weather will be dry and sunny this morning, but turning cloudy with heavy rain later this afternoon. Top temperatures today around 18 degrees Celsius, that's 64 degrees Fahrenheit.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The Milton Keynes long jumper Greg Rutherford will compete in the final at the World Athletics Championships in China today. Since claiming gold in London, he's added the European and Commonwealth titles to his collection. A win today would make him only the 5th Briton after Daley Thompson, Linford Christie, Sally Gunnell and Jonathan Edwards to hold all 4 major titles simultaneously.
There's always extra pressure. I think every competition I go into, I put as much pressure on myself as possible because you have to deal with it. That's why I love being on the Diamond League circuit. I want to jump against the best week in, week out, because that's what's going to test me and that's what's going to help keep me consistent and performing well. And so far this year it's been pretty good on the Diamond League circuit. It's going to be an exciting final, I think.
Liverpool drew 0-0 with Arsenal in the Premier League last night. 3 of our teams play in the second round of the Capital One Cup this evening. Watford travelled to Preston with manager Kike Flores likely to give a chance to players who haven't featured in the Premier League so far.
Some players, they try, but physically it's not good, it's not really fit absolutely to suffer 90 minutes. But okay, slowly they are going to find a space in the first 11.
The MK Dons play at home to Cardiff while Luton Town take on Premier League side Stoke at Kenilworth Road. Hatters boss John Still says he's likely to make changes to his side and formation.
To be honest, I've got the game pretty clear in my mind, you know, so I need to just think about that and decide really. See, it was difficult because Tuesday's a different game. It's, you know, we might have to play completely different. You know, that will have nothing to do with what we do after. You know, so I'll have to look at Tuesday.
And that's BBC Three Counties News and Sport with more at 8 o'clock.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with fire up. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine, I've been on fire with Sally Field, gone past with a girl named Bo, but somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead. I take my chances. I die for living in the movies and TV. But the hardest thing I ever do is watch my leading ladies kiss some other guy while I'm bandaging my knee. I'm might fall from a tall building, I might roll a brand new car, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that made Redford such a star. I've never spent much time in school, but I taught ladies plenty. It's true, I hire my body out for pay. Hey, hey, I've gotten burned over Cheryl Teague's, blown up for Raquel Welch. But when I wind up in the hay, it's only hay. Hey, hey, I might jump an open drawbridge or Tarzan from a vine, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that makes Eastwood look so fine.
Okay, TV themes that are sung by the star. The Fall Guy, sung by Lee Majors, beautiful. Minder, obvs, but he doesn't sing the theme.
No.
He doesn't sing the theme.
Was that the end?
Well, he doesn't. Well, that's still the closing. He doesn't sing it. There are no vocals. 03459 455 555. There are no vocals.
I could be so good for you.
Love you like you want me to.
I'd do anything for you.
I'll be so good for you. No, there are no vocals to that. He performed it. I remember him performing it with a big beard. Do you remember that? He performed it on a big beard with a TV show once. But on the actual
People used to fancy him, didn't they?
Yeah. He was a bit of all right.
Oh.
He was proper British sexy in the same way that Barbara Windsor was.
Yeah, smoker's teeth.
But there were no vocals on the Minder theme tune. It was like that was like Anita Dobson. There were no vocals.
So anyone can fall in love.
No, Anita Dobson added them herself.
Did she?
Well, someone did.
It went so well.
So Minder doesn't actually count in terms of theme tune sung by the star.
Okay.
Any other? Well, obviously the Monkees. I hear with the Monkees. Yes, lovely. Thank you. We'll have that. Nice. I like it. Oh. This is a story all about how my life got flipped and upside down.
So I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there and tell you how I became the prince of the town called Bel Air.
Sorry, guys. He's bringing that back, isn't it? Oh no, that'll be good.
Really?
He's bringing it back for his son.
He'd be bringing it. Oh, is his son in it? Oh,
Will he be the dad then?
No, he'll be the Fresh Prince.
He'll be the Fresh King, and then there'll be a new Fresh Prince.
The son will be the Fresh Prince. Will I am. That's his son, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And then his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, will be in it. As Benson, the gay butler.
He wasn't gay, was he? He was just English.
I interviewed...
They confuse that in America.
I had to interview the butler from...
Benson?
This sentence really takes a lovely twist at the end. The last two words really make this sentence. I had to interview the butler from The Fresh Prince of Bel Air on Radio 4.
He's a proper actor, isn't he?
He's a proper actor. He's a lovely bloke. And then there was a weird bit. Right, so we're talking about he was doing a play or something. He was over doing Shakespeare or something. I think it was an all-black Shakespeare. Blackspear. And we talked about Fresh Prince, of course. And he said... Then he got weird. He said... Because what's his catchphrase in Fresh Prince? He says something like...
His name isn't Benson, by
No,
the
I'm
way.
thinking of Benson. Phillips. Dave Benson Phillips, I'm thinking of. No, I'm thinking of Benson, who was a butler. That was
something else.
Anyway, but so this guy, he had like a catchphrase, which was certainly "sir" or something. Yes, sir.
It's not a catchphrase. That's just a response.
Word.
Catchphrase is a response. And he said, "I'm going to say something to you now, which I vowed I would never say to a white man."
Oh.
Yes, sir. I felt really uncomfortable. That's not. He has a catchphrase that's more subservient than "yes, sir." But he had,
Shall I find out?
Yeah, please do, Kels.
Is he actually English?
No, he's posh. He's neither English nor gay. He's just posh. All those things can be mixed up. Trust me, I know. Oh, cheeky. But it was weird. I'm going to say something. I vowed I would never say to a white man.
You put
White man. Those Americans, they do vehicle. White. They speak proper over there, innit? Crocodile shoes! Crocodile
Shoes wasn't a series, was it?
Yes, mate. It was a series starring Jimmy Now called Crocodile
It wasn't
Shoes.
called Crocodile.
Theme tune. It was called Crocodile
I
Shoes.
think I like Spender or something.
There wasn't a theme tune to spend. No, Crocodile Shoes was the thing.
Did Lovejoy sing Lovejoy?
Okay, so we're doing. Thank you for that, Anonymous. 81.
It was Jimmy Nail that sent that in, wasn't it?
Thank you, but
Double 3.
81.
Who sang Auf Wiedersehen, Pet?
There was no 81333. Start your text 3CR. TV shows where the theme tune is sung by the stars. So far we've got Crocodile Shoes, we've got the Monkeys, we've got the Fresh Prince, we've got the Fall Guy.
Laverne and Shirley, did they do theirs?
Yeah, Laverne and Shirley did theirs. Yep.
Did the kids from the Double Decker Bus do theirs?
You just Googled that.
No, I didn't.
You just Googled kids from Double Decker Bus.
No, I've Googled Jeffrey Butler from...
Jeffrey,
is his name? Is he called Butler?
His surname was Butler, yeah.
That you're thinking of on the buses. I'll get you, Butler. He died. Where was the public mourning for him? For Blakey? Blakey died.
coincided, didn't he? With someone else.
Oh dear. Okay, this is okay. So we've got two games on the road. One of them is going to sound inappropriate. It's not. It's done with love and it's done with respect. Okay. Theme tune sung by the Stars, and it's going to sound.
I don't like this.
I can't think of a way of phrasing this.
Maybe don't.
I'm going to say Celebrity Death Poker. What I mean is.
They died at the same time.
They died at the same time. Wasn't it? Who died?
Farrah Fawcett.
Farrah Fawcett, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
There we go. So you're playing a good hand. You've got Farrah Fawcett. You think you're going to win, and then Michael Jackson.
Top trumps.
So, and I'm making it sound more insensitive than I want to. But celebrities that have died, but then they were trumped. They were trumped by a bigger celebrity. Morning. 03459 455 555 is the phone number. 81333. Start your text 3C.
R.
Oh, thank you. Who's this anonymous again? Bruce Forsyth. Alive.
He's not dead.
Is the name of the game, and I want to play the game with you. Alive.
Could be terribly tame if you don't play the game we do.
Didn't Russ Abbott sing Madhouse? Everybody, Russ's Madhouse on a Saturday night.
Did Jim Davidson sing Big Break?
No, he didn't. That was Chas and Dave. Whoa. No, he didn't sing. There is no theme tune to Mind. There are no words to the Minder theme tune on Minder.
What if you want to explain the situation?
Yeah, but he didn't. There's no.
I'm sure I heard words to that.
Words to it. He sang it with a big bushy beard on a TV show. I remember that, but not on Minder. They were added later.
Oh.
Graham might be able to help.
Has he got a quick reminder?
Yes, Graham. It's our Graham. Yes, Graham. Don't keep going on about Scylla. Yes, Graham.
Morning. Glad to have you back, mate.
But do you know what? I will be glad to be back in about 3 weeks' time when I've reacclimatised. My alarm went off at 3:56 this morning. It blew my flipping mind. I had no idea what was going on. Anyway, what you got for us, Gray?
Roy Castle, Record Breakers.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have that. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm trying to... It must be the greatest... You get given, Graham, you get given a TV show to either present or act, right? And that's good. And you're going to be making good... You're going to be making a few grand off that. And then they say, do you know what? We'd really like you to sing the theme tune as well. A, it's another 250 quid, but B, you're really stamping your authority on that show, aren't you?
Definitely. Was Roy Castle, was he possibly related to the McWhirters?
Hello, Three Counties.
Say that again.
Did the McWhirters put records together to book?
The McWhirters, they were part of Guinness, weren't they? Did they not own Guinness, or was that Guinness?
They were just drunk a lot of it, I think.
I think they might have done. I think my sister... Thank you, Graham. Oh, Jeff, thank you. Kelsey Grammer, Fraser, yes. Oh, tossed salads and scrambled eggs, yes.
I tried to like Fraser, but I
don't. You're wrong. It's great. Fraser's great.
No, Daphne used to drive me flipping nuts.
She's actually English
as
well.
I'm Mancunian, so why is she talking like that?
Why is she doing a Mary Poppins? Big Break was sung by Captain Sensible. You might be right. I'm not. You might be right. Actually,
probably. I think we're thinking of Snooker Loopy Nuts, are we?
Snooker Loopy. Pop the red, then screw back for yellow, green, brown, blue, pink, and black. Snooker Loopy Nuts are we? We're all Snooker Loopy.
Loopy.
We're doing old TV shows, but in a fun way.
We say.
03459 455 555. I can't have Princess Diana and Mother Teresa because they weren't on the same day. They've got to be on the same day. They've got to be. I'll give you a window of 2 days, actually, either side. 03459 455 555.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
There are delays on the M25 anti-clockwise between junction 18 for the A404 at Chorleywood and 16 for the M40. And it's also busy on the M25 junction 21A roundabout on the North Orbital Road. In Watford on Lower High Street, it's very busy at the Bushy Arches. And looking at the speed sensors in Harpenden, it's busy on the High Street in both directions. And there are no problems reported on the trains at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Oh, we've got a good one. We've got a good one on Twitter. And I knew this guy had done one, and I couldn't think what it was. I thought I'd imagined it. Just see if I can download it. For 99p. Where are we? 7:45. It's Tuesday, the 25th of August. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. A shortage of carers means an elderly woman can't go home from Stoke Mandeville Hospital, even though she's well. 2 police officers are to face misconduct hearings over the way they treat an autistic man in Luton, and the Milton Keynes long jumper Greg Rutherford is going to try and do a really, really, really long jump today.
Beds, hearts and bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Good morning. It's a nice start actually outside. We've lost the rain from yesterday, but not long term, I'm afraid. This sunshine isn't going to last all day, so if you're heading out, take precautions for the wind and the rain for later. So enjoy the sunshine as the cloud approaches, turning cloudier, some showers, and then the heavier band of rain arrives. Some heavy bursts in there through the course of the afternoon and an increasing breeze as well. So it is going to be fairly miserable by the end of the day. Temperatures getting up to 18 Celsius. Now overnight, this rain, the pulses kind of fizzle out a little bit, and then some heavier rain arrives through the early hours of tomorrow morning. We hang on to the breeze. In fact, it's going to get a bit windier through to dawn tomorrow, and the minimum temperature down to 13 Celsius. A wet start and quite a windy start tomorrow morning, but gradually post lunchtime the rain will die away, it becomes dry, some sunshine, and the wind eases a touch as well. Still the risk of maybe a sharp shower tomorrow evening, but the temperature is improved as well. We're looking at 22 Celsius as a maximum, and that's your forecast.
This is Iain Lee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
03459 455 555 is the telephone number. Here we go. I know we don't do kids shows from the 70s, but this is from the 80s. Have this.
About Wisbit. Now, he comes from the planet of wow. Once he was a little bit of
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mr. Paul Daniels singing the Wisbit theme tune.
I used to love that.
It was... I didn't get it. What was it?
It was quite psychedelic, wasn't it?
It was like the British H.R. Puffin stuff.
And there was a woman who used to pop out and say, "What's the question of the day?"
We have to stop the clock. We are doing old kids' TV shows.
Right.
Let's back away from the precipice. We back away from the precipice. Hang on. Let's bring us back into the room. We need a little bit of. No, we need this. There we go. We're back in the room. That was close. It's easily done.
Yeah.
What? What's he saying?
Unga.
He is saying Unga. All right, OK, well, we're back in the room. 03459 455 555 is the telephone number. Now, a pilot scheme which will see firefighters taking on the work of paramedics is being trialled in Lincolnshire. Yeah, you call an ambulance and you might get a fire person instead. Well, in a moment, we'll speak to Gary Sanderson, formerly of the East of England Ambulance Service. But first, let's speak... Have we got Keith? I don't know where is he. I don't understand all this. He's not on Fader 2. Keith is not on Fader 2. Let's go. I tell you what we'll do. I can work my way around this. Don't worry, I'm a professional. Is Keith there now? You need to tell me, is Keith there now? He is there, OK, because this guy, the way this computer's set up, I can't see anything. Let's go to Keith Hanscom from the Fire Brigades Union. Morning, Keith.
Good morning, Ian.
This sounds unusual. I'm trying to tread delicately.
Yes, well, it's got some interesting elements to it. And, of course, I think any firefighter, any ambulance crew would always want us to do what we can to help the public. But I think we need to also look at the full picture. The real problem for the ambulance service at the moment is that the whole healthcare problem we've got is under pressure. You've got, we're putting record numbers of people who are elderly, sick and vulnerable back into the communities to be cared for there. We've cut back the local community healthcare and social care services. GP surgeries can't cope. And unfortunately, the hospitals as well have to keep churning people out of the hospitals because they haven't got enough doctors, nurses, and particularly in accident emergency, the registrars that they require. So we're dealing at the wrong end of the problem probably by thinking we need more and more people to pick ill and pick people up, to take them to a hospital and sit in a queue outside because there's not enough resources in the hospital to accept them.
I thought that the fire services were facing cuts anyway, so to lump extra work on them and extra responsibility seems, well, I just can't quite get my head around it.
Well, I think there's a whole lot of problems with it. Again, I think, as I say, firefighters are willing to look at anything if it works for the public. But the problem is we are facing the biggest cuts in our history ever as well. And the truth is, when you dial 999 because you've got a family friend, a daughter, a wife, a husband who's seriously ill, what you want is an ambulance.
Yeah.
You don't want a firefighter. And I have to correct something you said earlier, that we're not replacing paramedics. Paramedics will still be needed to deal with the people the firefighters will get sent to in this pilot scheme. The firefighters are there to simply drive an ambulance.
Oh, you're a taxi service now?
We're a taxi service.
Oh!
We have got actually rather professional firefighting, rescue, terrorist bombs, car crashes to deal with, and so it is a bit interesting that this is the answer, the great golden answer to a much, much bigger problem than just whether there's enough ambulance crews.
I know I will get texts, Keith, and this isn't necessarily what I think, but I will get texts from people, and it always amazes me, saying, well, come on a minute. We all know that firefighters sit on their big hairy backsides all day, watching films, playing pool, weightlifting. How often do they get called out to a real emergency? And I've actually had texts and phone calls from people saying that.
Well, of course, people hang on to the vision of the 1970s as a far more modern, different place than it was then. We spend most of our time out in the community doing community safety work, as well as the car accidents and other accidents like that are a growing part of our profession at the moment. So it's not as true as people like to paint it, unfortunately. But where there is spare capacity, particularly in rural communities where we've got the fantastic work of our retained firefighters, I think there is a capacity there for things such as, which are relatively simple in medical terms, as a heart attack victim and a defibrillator being sent to assist. I think there's merit in those areas being looked at, but to replace paramedics with firefighters who've already got their own job to do, I think is it's a sticking plaster for a gunshot wound, frankly.
Keith, thank you for all the work that you and your lot do.
Thank you, mate. Thanks, Ian.
It's appreciated, because I don't think people say, we've kind of been programmed to hate firefighters going on strike because their pensions and their work conditions are being changed. Oh, lazy so-and-sos. No, they're brilliant. They save lives. They save lives, that lot. When did you do it? Thank you, Keith. Genuinely. 03459 455 555. Right, Gary Sanderson retired from the East of England Ambulance Service after 30 years as a paramedic and indeed a spokesman. Gary, what do you think about this?
It's a very interesting initiative. One which we all know it's at its early stages. But first and foremost, if a fire, police, for instance, or ambulance crew can get to someone to save their life in the initial stages, that is brilliant. But I think it's not going to be taken in good faith with the public. Firefighters are out there rescuing and putting out fires, do a brilliant job, and paramedics are dedicated professionals, and that's what the public want to see when they call 999 for an ambulance.
Could it work? Could it relieve pressure? We all know that the ambulance services are struggling. Could it relieve pressure on them and could it save lives? I guess is the question. That's what it's aimed at, I suppose.
Yes, as I said earlier, early stages, and I think the stats are that 80% of the calls that they've already done are ambulance-related calls, 20% is the fire calls. So I know the East of England Ambulance Service are doing a massive paramedic recruitment to get hundreds and hundreds more paramedics out on the operational field, which is brilliant, but I can't see this initiative being spread throughout the country. I don't think it's going to be practical, and obviously there's going to be lots of issues around that.
Don't we just need loads more money? I'm making it sound a little bit more basic than perhaps it is, but we just need more money and more people, don't we?
We certainly do. Paramedics now come in with paramedic science degrees. Takes a lot of time to train. And I did do some research about the initiative, and they're going to do about 50 hours of training in medical aid. 50 hours is nothing. You want paramedics out there who've got years and years of experience, like the firefighters. They've got massive amounts of experience doing what they do, and I can't believe it will replace the paramedics on the road.
Gary, always good to talk to you. Thank you very much. Gary Sanderson, formerly of the East of England Ambulance Service, and the other voice was Keith Hanscom from the Fire Brigades Union. Those people do, or have done in their time, like proper jobs. They actually save lives.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine saving someone's life. Not just once, but you do it a few times. You know, that's your job, is saving lives. And yet they still get, their finger pointed at them and you lazy so-and-sos. How dare you? Look at you. I remember when we did Firefighters on here before, and we had one guy, and I think he phoned up, who was really angry, saying, "Well, all they do is they just sit around. When do they actually go and really put out fires? How many fires have they actually put out? Well, even if they put out one, even if they're getting one person out of a crushed car, that's enough, isn't it? Isn't that enough?" This guy was furious. Anyway, 03459 455 555. Morecambe and Wise singing the theme tune. Beautiful. Sybil Shepherd, who sang Moonlighting?
I mean, why would Bruce let her do that? Because he fancied himself as a singer.
He sang The Return of Bruno.
Did he?
Yeah. There's Les saying, excellent interpretation of the sports news there, Ian. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Les.
He does enjoy the show, doesn't
He's
he?
changed his tune, hasn't he, since I've been away? Did you miss me when I was away? Did you hang my picture on your wall? I can't sing that anymore. Glitter, isn't it? We got Daniel-san.
Hello.
Yeah, where have you been?
I've been all around Dunstable asking people about Toy Story 3.
Yeah, I know. I asked you an hour and a half ago.
Look, there was no one in Dunstable.
Did he just start an answer to me, the boss, with a look? Did he?
Yeah.
He did. You doing something different with your hair?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay, Daniel-san, listen. You've disrespected me.
Yep.
You've disrespected my family.
Right.
So I'm afraid I'm going to have to kill you karate style.
When?
Well, I'll do it after the show. Shall we listen to your package first? What did I send you out on to get you out of the building?
Thanks. You wanted me to find...
Again, there's an attitude there.
Yes.
And there.
Oh, yeah.
And there.
You wanted me to know if...
And there. Surprisingly.
Did you cry during Toy Story 3?
Yes, I did. Oh, that was the question.
Yeah.
Right, and?
And I went out and I asked people at Dunstable. I got a Polish perspective, and it's all in this package.
And?
That's when you hit play.
No, that's when you say, "Could you press play, please, sir?"
Could you press play, please, sir? Did Toy Story 3 make you cry?
I'm not really into those sort of films.
What films do make you cry?
I don't think I've ever cried at a film.
Me neither.
That's good.
We've got a lot in common.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not so sure.
Why?
'Cause I'm not walking around with a microphone.
Yeah, but I'm not walking around with some juice.
It's a valid point.
Did you cry when you saw Toy Story 3?
Cry? Sorry, I don't speak English.
But what about Toy Story 3? Do you like it?
Yes, I like this city, like this country.
Did you cry during Toy Story 3?
No, I didn't watch it.
Why not?
I don't like Toy Story.
Oh, what films do make you cry?
Despicable Me.
Why did Despicable Me make you cry?
Because of the Minions.
They're meant to be funny, aren't they?
Well, no, but they're sad as well.
Oh, like everything, I guess.
Yeah. Thank you.
Did you cry at Toy Story 3?
Never seen it.
What films have made you cry?
Busy, mate.
Never seen it. What's it about?
It's about some bloke being hassled by a man with a pickle in his hand.
Toy Story 3, did you cry?
No. No, I want to tell you something about my family. I want to keep on about my family.
Right.
I've got a great mum and dad and a great sister. Wherever my mum and dad is, I know one day they're all going to go. So what I'm going to say is, I love them, all three of them.
Did they cry at Toy Story 3?
Eh?
Did they cry at Toy Story 3?
I don't know. No, I don't know. I didn't anyway.
Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it.
What a surprisingly touching package you've got, Daniel-san.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The M25 is looking very busy now, so anti-clockwise there are queues between junction 18 for Chorleywood and 16 for the M40, and there are also delays around junction 20 for Kings Langley. In Watford on Lower High Street it's busy at the Bushy Arches, and Borehamwood has the A1 very slow southbound from the Holiday Inn towards the Stirling Corner. In Roxton on the A1 Great North Road there are queues southbound between the Coneworth turnoff and the Blackhat roundabout, and on the train departure boards there aren't any delays at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Sammy, thank you very much indeed. We'll find some other nonsense just to keep Daniel-san out of the building, because I find his presence just far too arousing to to be able to concentrate on my work. 03459 455 555. Yep, that'll do.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 8 o'clock, I'm Lee Agnew. The headlines: elderly woman from Watford stuck in hospital despite being well. Bedfordshire police officers to face misconduct hearings, and a second Luton councillor resigns.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
A pensioner from Watford is stuck in Stoke Mandeville Hospital because of the difficulty of finding carers for her. 87-year-old Margaret Morn was given the all clear by doctors more than 2 weeks ago, but is still waiting to go home. Roma Mills from Carers in Hertfordshire told Iain Lee it's a struggle to get enough staff.
Home care isn't wonderfully well paid. We don't value our home care workers perhaps as well as we should, and perhaps it doesn't look like a very attractive career to young people. And at the same time, we don't suffer from low employment in Hertfordshire, so there's not lots of people out there looking for jobs, and perhaps home care just doesn't look that attractive to someone entering the job market.
2 Bedfordshire police officers will face a misconduct hearing over the way they treated an autistic man. The officers have already been cleared of assaulting Farouk Ali. Farouk's brother Dobir says he wants police car camera footage of the incident to be made public.
On that video, you could see that my brother was walking away and they turned around and, laughing, giggling. And this is why it's very, very important that the video is released.
A second Labour councillor has resigned from the cabinet of Luton Borough Council after an investigation began into his conduct. Mohammed Ashraf, who is in charge of customer services, stood down yesterday after being suspended from the party. Our political reporter Paul Scoynes has more.
Councillor Ashraf has been a long-standing member of the cabinet and held the finance and public health portfolios in that time. He's now suspended from the Labour Party pending an investigation, though it's not clear what it's alleged to have done wrong. He's the second executive member to resign in recent days, after Councillor Wahid Akbar stood down last week for personal reasons.
The Labour leadership contenders are appearing at a hustings in Stevenage this morning. They're also meeting with acting leader Harriet Harman today to discuss concerns the election could be flawed. The former Labour Home Secretary Charles Clarke says it's a disaster.
We've got legal challenges. I think there may still be further legal challenges about the process. Issues about who can vote, who can't vote. Many party members who've been active for years distressed to see people who've been campaigning against the party with an equal vote to them in these circumstances. I don't think Harriet's done it very well. I think the changes Ed Miliband brought in were a mistake, and many people argued that at the time, and there'd been a series of mistakes of this kind.
In sport, the Milton Keynes long jumper Greg Rutherford will compete in the final at the World Athletics Championships in China today. This evening, Watford, the MK Dons and Luton Town play in the second round of the Capital One Cup. And the weather will be dry and sunny this morning, but turning cloudy with heavy rain later this afternoon. Top temperatures today around 18 degrees Celsius, that's 64 degrees Fahrenheit. You can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Thank you very much. Yeah. No. Well, there we go. What's a dilemma? Those headphones lasted 2 months, that's fine. That's good going. Morning, guys. Iain Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio. What have we sent Daniel San out on?
The latest one is What Haven't You Done for Years?
There we go. You can call us on that as well if you want, but 03459 455 555. You can give us a call about anything. You know the rules. We just sit here and we talk. You phone up. You know, if you want to join in the conversation, do. If you don't, I don't mind. I'm bothered. Right, let's be having you.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Right, now we've been hearing this morning about the case of a Watford pensioner who's stuck in hospital in Aylesbury despite being well enough to go home. 87-year-old Margaret Morn, who is a former Paralympic champion, she did the archery, was given the all clear by doctors in Stoke Mandeville more than 2 weeks ago, but is still waiting to go home because of a shortage of home carers. Roy Lilly is a former NHS Trust chairman and joins me now. Morning, Roy.
Iain, good morning.
This story doesn't surprise me. Is it common?
Yes, very. I think, if I'm right, if I can just draw to memory the figures, something like over 80% of patients in some hospitals will be over 65. The big issue is that they come in perhaps, with a bit of frailty, perhaps they've had a bit of a tumble, got dehydrated, need a bit of TLC and a bit of a sort out in hospital. It just pushes what we call their acuity, that's their ability to manage over the edge, so they need a bit more support going home. And, the hospital can fix them up in 48 hours, perhaps a day longer, and then it's all down to social services and the care sector. Well, the difficulty that they've got is that they've had last year, in the last spending cycle, that's up to 2015, they had their budgets cut by 27%. There are further cuts now. Some say the whole thing is around 40%. So local authorities are struggling, to fill up the holes in the roads and look after our old people with social care. They just don't have the people and they don't have the money. And so, in consequence, they don't do the care programming. They can't plan a safe journey home because they simply don't have the money to pay the staff to do it. So people get marooned in hospital.
I don't understand, Roy, how we ended up in a country where old people are stuck in hospital beds for weeks on end because there's not enough money to pay for the help they need at home.
Well, it all goes back to, sorry to be tedious about this, but it goes back to the banking crisis, the fact that the whole of the world's banking economy ground to a halt. We very nearly went broke as a country. We've now got austerity. We've printed money, and we've got austerity to pay it all back again. Hence the coalition's government's austerity package, and that's been carried on now in spades, really, by its successor.
But surely there are some things we can't scrimp on. There are some things that to scrimp on would be churlish, and backfires, because having people like Margaret stay in hospital, that's still costing money. It's just different money.
Of course it is, and it's dare I say it, this is the Jeremy Corbyn answer. Put some more money in the system. It's at the basis of all this. It's nothing to do really with social services or health service. They both know what to do to get people home safely. They just don't have the cash to do it. The reason they don't have the cash to do it is the government's policy is to have a low tax economy. During the last election, no one was talking about putting taxes up to pay for health or social care. They just don't do it because both of the major parties, Labour and the Conservatives, believe in low tax economies. They think that's the way for it to flourish. And so no one was prepared to stand on an electoral platform to say, give me tuppence on income tax and I'll put it into healthcare and social care. Now we're reaping a dreadful harvest because we've got very vulnerable people. I mean, the people who are most vulnerable in our society are the ones that are trying to stay in their own homes. The ones in nursing homes, no one wants to leave their own home, but the ones in nursing homes are better looked after, I think, than people who are struggling in their own homes with 4 or 5 visits a day from complete strangers popping in for 10 and 15 minutes. And the companies that are doing that are now saying, look, we just simply don't have the money, and the Home Care Association, which is the organisation that represents people who are doing home care, are saying, look, we're just not getting enough money in terms of fees from local government, and some of our members are going to go broke and we won't be able to do it. There is no question what you're revealing here, put your finger on it, hit the nail on the head, there is a funding crisis in social care.
The kind of mantra has been for the past few years is stay at home. We don't want you to go in care homes. We want you to be able to stay in your own home as long as possible because of independence and because it might save us a few quid. But that can't work if people aren't I sound like a sixth form student because I can't get my head around. We just give more money. It seems you can't have 87-year-old women stuck in hospital when they're perfectly well to go home.
Yes, I mean it is actually sixth form economics. It's blindingly obvious. I mean, I would just raise, quite an interesting question mark here. Is it cheaper to maintain people in their own home, given that they need a care package, they'll need rising services, they'll need meals, washing, social bathing, chiropody, hair washing, shopping, cleaning, lunch services, afternoon services, twilight services? How many knocks on the door does it take to look after someone in their own home? Or is a care home actually where all the overheads, and we've circled the wagons, are in one place? It might be cheaper. I've always thought that if you do a good old-fashioned, what accountants call a cost-in-flow calculation, that's the absolute amount of money that's swirling around keeping someone at home, it actually might reveal it's more expensive. Because the other issue there is it's getting more and more difficult for the care home or the home care providers to recruit people. They're on the minimum wage. They don't pay them from travelling between one episode of care to another. They're dealing, as I've already said, with some of the most vulnerable people with
And also, we spoke to someone representing carers earlier on, and she sold the career well. I've seen what carers do. It's a grim job, and if you say to a 20-year-old or you say to anyone, you got a choice. You can either go and help old people and dress them and feed them. You might have to wipe their backsides from time to time, or you can go and stack shelves in the supermarket. I know which one sounds the most appealing.
Of course, and there is no doubt about it that caring for some of our most vulnerable people is one of the most rewarding things you can do. The smile on the face when you arrive, the help that you can give them, the thanks that they give, the companionship that you can provide whilst you're there. It's wonderful, but it's a vocation. It doesn't suit everybody.
Yeah.
And people who don't share that sense of vocation shouldn't do it, because they can do more harm than good. And the problem is there is very little career structure in being a care assistant. If you're working on the minimum wage, how do you get promoted? Will the company send you on courses so you learn more about caring? Could you make a transfer into the nursing profession? How easy is that? Well, I can tell you it's very difficult. So, we don't make a profession of it. If you look in other countries, Denmark's a very good place to see how they look after their elderly. There are companies there. It's mainly private sector provided, but there are companies there that have an entirely different approach. I mean, it is, I don't sort of one always gets sucked into the politics of these things, because at the end of the day, it's the politicians who make the choices about what money we've got and where it goes. But there is no question about it. We're facing a care home absolute crisis, and you've revealed it very well this morning.
Roy, nice to talk to you. I appreciate your thoughts. Thank you very much indeed. Roy Lilly, former NHS Trust Chairman. You can have your say on that. I know not everyone will agree with what Roy is saying, but it seems obvious to me. You can't have an 87-year-old woman stuck in hospital for 2 weeks. You can't. How did we get to a point where that's acceptable? My mum was stuck in hospital for about a month while they tried to get together a care pack. How is that acceptable? You judge a country by the way it treats its most vulnerable people. That's the elderly, the sick and the young. And we ain't treating Margaret Morn very well, are we, hey? 03459 455 555. We've got another defector from West Midlands.
I know, I saw. Hello, Pamela.
Morning, Pamela. All right there, Pamela.
You all right, Pamela?
I did it better.
You sound South African.
All right there, Pamela. How are you going on this slide later on? Would you like to come to Solio? Would you like to go to the bull ring?
The what?
The bull ring. Would you like to go to the bull ring?
So where is Pamela from?
Birmingham.
Oh, wow.
Would you like to
Did not get
Pamela,
that.
would you like to go to the bull ring?
Oh.
I'm bringing it back. They got a Selfridge with Ed's Diner in.
Have they?
In the bull ring. Hello there.
Is that the bull ring? That's not bull ring, is it?
I can't do. I'm doing it as best as I can.
I thought that was the mailbox.
No, the bull ring has got the Ed's Diner.
But the mailbox has got a Selfridges.
The mailbox has not got a Selfridges. It's got a Harvey Nichols.
Oh,
you see,
still
I know.
posh. It's still posh. Oh, I'm doing it now. I'm going South Africa. Anyway, morning, Pamela, and apologies. Rick Mayall and the cast sang the theme tune to The Young Ones for Simon and Stevenage.
Oh, yeah.
You
we were
asked.
asking that, yeah.
And Brian Cant
Well done.
sang and starred in Play Away.
Play Away. Play away, way, away, way, away, way, 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 way.
Now listen. Tony reckons Sons and Daughters was sung by the whole cast.
Was it Eck?
Was it Eck? There's one fellow, wasn't it?
It was a lady.
Sons and Daughters.
Sons and Daughters. It was a lady. That ain't no lady. That's my wife singing the theme tune to Sons and Daughters from the Channel 9 network, Australia. Copyright Mushroom Records.
How about Morecambe and Wise singing their theme tune?
Yeah,
That's a classic, says Simon.
Said that?
He's right.
Yeah. So am I.
And George and Zippy sung Rainbow, I think.
No, they didn't. That was Rod, Jane and Freddie sang it.
Rod-
Birds of a Feather, says Dan, Pauline Cook and Linda Robson. Yeah, yeah.
What'll I do?
Did they?
Yeah, gosh, it was awful.
Oh, that's cute.
And Dennis Waterman sang New Tricks, says Colin.
Well, that's great news. Paul, stay there, coming to you straight after the Trav.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's busy on the M25 anti-clockwise between junction 18 for Chorleywood and 16 for the M40, and in Watford on the Lower High Street it's looking very slow on the speed sensors at the Bushy Arches, and also on the North Circular Road it's very busy between the East End Road and the A1 at Henleaze Corner. In Roxton on the A1 Great North Road, it's very slow approaching the Black Cat roundabout from the Coneworth turnoff. And looking at the speed sensors in Aylesbury, the A41 is very busy between Oxford Road and Exchange Street past the train station in both directions. On the train departure boards, though, there are no delays showing up at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. 8:16, it's Tuesday the 25th of August. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. A shortage of carers means an elderly woman can't go home from Stoke Mandeville Hospital even though she's well. 2 police officers are to face misconduct hearings over the way they treat an autistic man in Luton. And a second Labour councillor has resigned from the cabinet of Luton Borough Council after an investigation has begin into his conduct.
This is Iain Lee.
On BBC Three Counties Radio.
Yeah, I do like it a lot.
Thank you very much.
Have you had highlights in as well as a nut cut?
No, I haven't.
You're looking.
I did get a little bit political yesterday with my barber, though.
Oh.
You know my barber, Ali.
Did you say, I don't want this parting on the left, I want it on the far right?
No.
No, you didn't?
No, last couple of times I've been to my barber, I've had to. Ali hasn't been there, so I've had to have my hair cut by the older man.
Oh,
and he does quite a nice job, but he doesn't really speak any English, so the conversation's a little bit awkward. You
come on over here, cutting our hair.
You kind of look in the mirror and you're kind of looking and thinking.
That's the way I like it.
Awkward.
I like it. I don't like talking to the head. Oh, a foreign hairdresser that's speaking no English. Oh yes, please.
But he tries to speak. But you can't really understand what he's saying, so you kind of sit there thinking, oh, I don't know what I should say. I don't know what you're saying, and you've got a pair of scissors in your hands. Anyway, so I was talking to Ali yesterday, and I said, oh, you've not been here last couple of times. I've had the other chap do my hair. He said, oh right, yeah. He said, I said, yeah, he's nice. The haircut's all right, but he's not. Conversation's not that great.
He's not as sparkling as you, Ali.
No, exactly. And he said, oh, he taught me how to cut my hair. I said, oh, right. I said, how long ago was that? He said, 15 years ago. Yeah. I said, what? He's lived here for 15 years? Yeah, he's lived here for 15 years and he doesn't speak any English.
Brilliant.
Anyway, I got on my high horse, didn't I? I was saying, why hasn't he learnt any English? He's lived here for 15 years. He doesn't speak any English.
I kind of respect that.
And
that takes balls.
And it started to get a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I said, he should speak English. He's lived here for 15 years.
Gosh, he was like you were doing a phone-in, but just with one man.
Yes, with a man with a pair of scissors.
How awful for everyone.
I said, this is ridiculous. You must teach him more English.
Yes.
I said, he talks to customers all day. How can he not learn English?
Yeah.
Anyway, it all got a bit awkward.
So you're not going back there anymore?
I think I'm going to have to change my barber.
Might be worth a phone call to the authorities as well. Just get him checked out. Just get him checked out. Make sure his paperwork is...
I don't think he's illegal.
You don't know. Get him checked out. Get him checked out. Because if you're lucky, you might get kicked out of the country. You won't have to deal with him again.
But he's quite good at cutting hair.
Oh, it's a quandary, isn't it?
I wish he'd improve his English.
I don't think in the UKIP manifesto of people that we need that hairdressers were that high on the list.
We got quite a lot of hairdressers. Haven't we? We got quite a lot.
There are quite a few. Seems any old Tom, Dick and Abdul can do it. Now, what are you looking for? You've lost something?
No.
Oh, well, then away you go.
Okay.
Let's set up the show. It's not about hairdressers, foreign hairdressers.
Do you know what? Well, actually, we're not a million miles away. On today's Big Phone In, I'm going to be asking, do you agree with Angela Merkel that the UK should take in more migrants? The German Chancellor has said that all EU member states must fairly share the burden of dealing with the migrant crisis. Speaking before talks in Berlin with the French President François Hollande, Angela Merkel said that Europe needed to act together to deal with the chaotic scenes in Greece and the Western Balkans, as desperate migrants are trying to reach the EU. She said the UK must take in more migrants, just like Germany has. Do you know how many migrants Germany has taken in the last year?
500,000.
More.
Is it? 1 million?
800,000 migrants.
And what have we had? About 30,000?
We're trying to get the exact figures, but yeah, much less.
Yeah.
And she's saying, look, this is not fair. We're taking in 800,000 and loads of other countries in Europe, you're hardly taking any. Yeah. You in Britain are hardly taking any at all. So from 9 this morning, I want to know whether you think she's got a point. Do you think we should take in more? Or frankly, are we full? Should she mind her own business? From 9 this morning, I'd love your calls, your reaction. 03459 455 555.
Let me get it right. Can these migrants that she's talking about...
I have no idea.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iain Lee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Good morning, Paul.
Hello, chap.
Hello, fella. What you got for us?
Well, talking about the celebrities dying within each other's, 24 hours or so.
Within each other's mourning period, yeah, of course. It was Farrah Fawcett Majors died on the same day as Michael Jackson. Oh, how unfortunate.
Well, it was bad timing, isn't it? You've got to time your exit if you're in show business.
You've got to time your entrance and, indeed, more importantly, time your exit and take the bow.
You have. What I'm thinking about is Frankie Howard.
Oh.
He died, and a day or so later they announced the death of Benny Hill. But the strange thing was that Benny Hill had been quoted as saying how sad he was that Frankie had died in one of the national newspapers. And when I phoned them up to query it, they had to admit they had made it up, because by that time Benny Hill was already stiff as a poker, sitting in a chair in his flat, dead.
So one of the papers had made up a quote from dead Benny Hill?
Yes. Well, they didn't know he was dead. They phoned him in his flat. Well, he couldn't answer because he was dead in the chair, so they made up the quote, saying how sad he was that Frankie was dead. His old friend Frankie was dead. But poor Benny was stiff as a poker anyway, so he couldn't say.
Well, that was pretty much his career in the 70s, wasn't it? I think that was the act.
Well,
if I remember the programme correctly, we weren't allowed to watch the Benny Hill show; it was too mucky. So who got the biggest coverage? Because for me, Frankie Howard was the superstar. And I met Frankie Howard, and he invited me and my young male friends back to his dressing room. At the time, I was honoured and touched. Luckily, I was not honoured and touched. In retrospect,
I met Frankie. Yes, I met Frankie. I dealt with him at Elstree Studios, and he always wanted you to massage his painful thigh. For
yes. When I met him, right, it was towards the end, and we were like 16, 17, me and about 3 or 4 mates, and we went to the stage door thinking it'll be great to meet Frankie Howard. There won't be any chance. And the doorman went, all right, yeah, I'll get... Mr. Howard, there's 4 young lads that would like to see you. We were whisked straight through to his dressing room. And I remember he had this scruffy, dirty suit on, and he just kept... We asked him to sign a picture. And he said, yeah, let me get a pen. And he just kept pulling out handfuls of miniatures from his pockets, like these little vodka and whiskey miniatures. There's literally about a dozen of them. And he found a pen. And in hindsight, looking back with my mature eyes, Frankie Howard was totally chatting us up to see which one would massage his painful thighs. But we were young and naive in those days. We never took the bait.
But it would have been something for you to have spoken about at dinner parties if you had have done, wouldn't it?
I was touched up by Frankie Howard, which incidentally is the title of my autobiography. Paul, thank you very much indeed. 03459 455 555 is the... Frankie Howard, obviously, hilarious. Benny Hill, the big star in the States. They love Benny Hill in America.
I never liked Benny Hill. I always found him a bit creepy.
He's good in the Italian Job, but he's creepy in that.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, creepy.
Who is he in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
He's the toy maker.
Yeah.
He makes them into music box dolls.
Ernie's good. Ernie's a great song.
No, I found it really creepy.
No, it's a great record. 03459 455 555. Your memories of Frankie Howard and Benny Hill.
We're being reprimanded on the texts.
Go on then.
Pamela is Irish, Ian, not a Brummie.
I'm sorry to see that. Would you like to come to the bull ring with me?
So I've added a note to her number from now on. It says Brummie Pamela, who's Irish.
I'm so sorry, Pamela. Well, she won't be listening after these voices, well, as you know.
Matt, who's from Wolverhampton,
Hey,
says,
send your emails to them.
Ian Lee, we don't talk like the Peaky Blinders.
Well, apparently you just did. On to more serious things. An internal investigation into whether two Bedfordshire police officers mistreated an autistic man has determined that there is a case to answer for gross misconduct. The officers have already been cleared in court of all charges in relation to an alleged attack on Farouk Ali outside his home in Luton. Now, though, his family are renewing calls for the footage of the incident to be released. Well, Baroness Udin has spoken about this case in the House of Lords. She also has a son with autism and is a social worker by profession. And she joins me now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your son has autism. Can I ask, how old is your son and how does the autism impact on his life?
He is 36, so considerably older than Farouk Ali. He has some learning disabilities. He is very disciplined in his ways. He has, I don't know what you want me to say in specific. How does it impact his life? I think that in terms of Mr. Ali's case, I don't know, do you want to ask a specific question? I think that is very difficult. It's a very broad subject, a broader experience of this. So it's a long... So I don't know exactly what to say.
Well, no,
so you tell me what you want to know.
Okay, I will. Yes. I was just curious to know, because obviously I'm trying to get some understanding as to why this case is so important to you and how you can identify with it.
Oh, the reason I became involved in it is because for a long time, over 30-year period, I've been obviously very passionately involved and personally interested in the issue of disability. I've worked on this for a very long time, and I concentrated quite a lot over the last 18 months in the House just to get greater understanding about how autism was impacting other people in the community, and legislatively what shortcomings we still had, how much more we needed to do, from as a member of parliament. So it obviously my personal interest has some impact on the way I view it and understand the matter. So I think that the reason I became interested and then I wanted to talk about him was because of the work I was doing, and then I had a greater understanding and knowledge of the matter. So that's why I raised it. And the Farouk Ali case in particular fascinated me because the importance of his the importance he gave to the manner in which he, for instance, took the bin out every Thursday, and how important that task is, because obviously autism on the spectrum order has a very broad range of capabilities and as well as behavioral aspects, and but in general they're quite disciplined. Once they have a habit that they're quite formative, they want to pursue it with passion and vigor, and they think that this is their obligation. So it really made me kind of think, okay, I know what my son likes to do. Every morning he likes to, for instance, ensure that all the curtains are open on time, and he feels that that's his personal job, and he'll make sure all the dustbins from everywhere is cleaned out. It doesn't matter how small the dustbin is. And I'm just, being, silly with my examples, but it's the discipline.
No, it's routine, isn't it? Is an integral part. You mentioned this. You raised the Farouk Ali case in the House of Lords. What was the response you received?
The response, I tell you, the reason I raised the Farouk Ali case was because I had already had several discussions in the House of Lords. I'd been raising questions. I'd attended the meeting with various ministers and the large number of parents and groups that work with people with autism, including an organization called Include Me, Uppercent, and National Autistic Society, and various others. So there'd been quite a lot of discussions around what happens to people with disabilities in general, but autism in particular, when they come in contact with criminal justice system. And it was felt generally by parents and carers and organizations. And it seemed to me that the minister at the time has a lot of understanding about the fact that there were some problems. The institutions, i.e. the police, the probation officers, needed a greater understanding and training in the way that it was dealing with people when they came in contact with people with autism. They necessarily didn't know how to treat them. And if many individuals with autism, for instance, my son, don't necessarily appear in the first instance that they have a disability. And I know in the instance of Farouk Ali, he was carrying something which indicated that he has some disability.
Yeah, he had a badge, I think, or a necklace, yes, or a bracelet, something like that.
Yeah, I didn't want to make specific reference, but he has. There is a badge, yes. Yeah. So, but also the police, I understand in Farouk Ali's case in particular, had already, Farouk Ali had already some encounter with the police. And I would have hoped that the police officers would have had the report or record of his instance.
It would have been flagged up. Baroness, I'm really sorry to I'm late. I'm so late for the travel, and I will get a slap wrist. I really appreciate your time. That's Baroness Uddin, who has spoken about the Farouk Ali case in the House of Lords. 7:31. Sorry to be so late. Let's get the travel.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's very busy on the M25 anti-clockwise between junction 25 for Enfield and 24 for Potters Bar, and anti-clockwise it's slow from junction 18 for Chorleywood to 16 for the M40. In Watford on the lower High Street it's looking very slow at the moment around the Bushy Arches, and it's crawling towards the Black Cat roundabout from the Coneworth turn-off if you're near Roxton. On the train departure boards though, there are no delays at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 8:30. I'm Lee Agnew. The headlines: a shortage of carers means an elderly woman can't go home from Stoke Mandeville Hospital, even though she's well. 87-year-old Margaret Morn was given the all clear by doctors more than 2 weeks ago. Two Bedfordshire police officers will face a misconduct hearing over the way they treated an autistic man. The officers have already been cleared of assaulting Farouk Ali. And a second Labour councillor has resigned from the cabinet of Luton Borough Council after an investigation began into his conduct. Mohammed Ashraf, who was in charge of customer services, stood down yesterday after being suspended from the party. The weather will be dry and sunny this morning, turning cloudy with heavy rain this afternoon. Top temperatures around 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The Milton Keynes long jumper Greg Rutherford says he's hindered by UK athletics, which he believes places athletes in a class system. Rutherford will be competing in the World Athletics long jump final in Beijing later today. But sprint legend Michael Johnson believes Rutherford would be better suited concentrating on what he does best.
There's always a forum for everything, and there's a time and a place. And being at the World Championships, being the Olympic champion, and having the opportunity here to add another title, one that he doesn't have, and one of the only ones actually that he doesn't have. Now's not the time to be focused on UK athletics and that sort of thing. Now's the time to be focused on do more jumping, less talking.
Liverpool drew 0-0 with Arsenal in the Premier League last night. Three of our teams playing the second round of the Capital One Cup this evening. Watford travel to Preston while the MK Dons play at home to Cardiff. Manager Carl Robinson says he'll give an opportunity to those who haven't played in the Championship as much as others.
Yeah, I think we have to. I think one or two will definitely be rested. I've got no qualms in saying that we'll definitely have to rest one or two, especially after playing in heat like that. That was as hot as I think I've ever managed the game.
Luton Town take on Premier League side Stoke at Kenilworth Road. The Hatters boss John Still says he's likely to make changes to his side and formation.
To be honest, I've got the game pretty clear in my mind, so I need to just think about that and decide really. See, it was difficult because Tuesday's a different game. We might have to play completely different. That will have nothing to do with what we do after. So I'll have to look at Tuesday.
And that's BBC Three Counties News and Sport with more at 9 o'clock.
Local and vocal across Beds, Herts and Bucks.
This is Iain Lee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Okay, so discussing. We're kind of playing. We're not playing. This is kind of celebrity death top trump. So one celebrity dies, like quite a famous person, but then within 12, 24 hours, a bigger star dies, and that first one is eclipsed. And we got talking about Frankie Howard and Benny Hill, and the excellent story of a quote from Benny Hill appearing in the newspaper when Frankie Howard died. It turned out to have been made up because Benny Hill was dead in his flat.
Oh, that journo landed himself right in it there, didn't he?
Right in it. Scott has tweeted, and I can read this one.
Oh, good.
It's weird, and this is interesting, isn't it? It's weird because Benny Hill always seemed like the pervy one, but compared to his peers in the 70s, he was quite wholesome. Let's face it. This is where I hesitate.
Yeah.
But it's a valid point.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Go on then.
It's actually a very powerful sentence.
You're not sure, are you?
Let's face it.
Oh. Don't turn your mic off and leave mine on. I can hear you laughing through the glass.
Let's face it, slapping a hot nurse on the bum is nothing compared to predatory paedophilia.
Well, no, it isn't.
It isn't at all. And you're right, and we all thought he was the dodgy one, but it turns out he was actually, he wasn't.
As far as we know.
Well, no. You
With anybody.
You can't even say that. He was compared to everybody else.
I had a message earlier on Twitter from someone who says every time a famous celebrity's face flashes on the telly now, I have to do the way up.
The way up.
Whether they've died or whether they've been involved in some sort of scandal. You know which kind I mean.
Death or Utri. It's two people saying, can you please stop clicking that mouse? Let's get rid of those. 3459 455 555 is the telephone number. Have we got anything now? Or
what do you want to text us?
Yeah, go on, give us some texts.
Okay. Emma says C.S. Lewis and John F. Kennedy died on the same day, 22nd November 1963.
Well, yes, C.S. Lewis picked a bad day to die.
He did.
And Kennedy picked a bad day to drive through Dallas.
Oh, that was terrible.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
It was awful, though, wasn't it?
There's no denying it.
Did Champion sing the theme tune to Champion the Wonder Horse? Asked Mark in Bedford.
No.
Are you sure?
He was a horse.
And Chrissy...
Champion the Wonder Horse. Champion the Wonder Horse.
There'd be two reasons why that would be unusual. One, he's a horse.
He's singing to Mr. Ed. He's thinking of Mr. Ed. A horse is a horse, of course, and nobody heard of a horse that talks unless, of course, the horse is called Mr. Ed.
Two reasons why it would be unusual. One, Champion the Wonder Horse was a horse, a wonderful horse, yes, but not a singing horse. And two, he'd be singing about himself in the third person, which would be incredibly arrogant.
Former Radio 1 DJ Iain Cotton has signed a lucrative deal to release a book. Any idea what type of book it is she's going to be releasing?
Colouring.
Are you eating?
Mm.
You got that down quick, didn't you, girl? Hey, you whacked that in there quick.
Don't mess about with biscuits.
Kelly. Huh? Kelly?
She's talking to Dave Luton.
Oh, for crying out loud. What do you... no, wasn't.
Colouring.
Nope.
Fashion.
Nope.
Pregnancy.
I'll give you a clue. I wonder what I'm going to cook for my dinner tonight. I'll look at Fern Cotton's book. Sorry, Kelly.
Cookery.
Thank you.
Oh. DIY.
No cookery. The collection... Cook happy, cook
Right,
healthy.
Dave, stay there.
At least I think that's what it's
strike
called.
me as a big cooker.
Oh, for crying out loud!
Oh,
well,
if you love her so much, why don't you?
Why don't you go and eat her kebabs that are probably in the book?
I don't think she'd make those. It's all healthy.
Is focused on clean out. She's not 33. Iain is not 33. I met her like 12 years ago and she was 33 then. She's going to be 50 now. Iain...
Are you eating biscuits now?
33 said Get this, Dave. Do you even know who Fearne Cotton is?
No.
If you are happy like me to whittle away the hours with a spatula in hand, then hopefully you'll...
It's not Northern.
Donald or Davy Stott.
Then hopefully you'll enjoy...
It does sound like them, doesn't it?
Let's have an explosion, Davy.
Hopefully you'll enjoy my ideas and recipes.
Or Sarah Millican.
Okay, I'm going to turn your mics down because I'll have a real in-depth conversation with a proper geezer. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Luton. Morning, David.
Good morning, boss. Welcome back.
Do you know who Fearne Cotton is, please?
Yeah, I know it is now.
Okay, good. You've worked it out, have you?
Excuse me?
You've worked it out, have you?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Fearne Cotton.
Who's that?
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 Fearne Cotton.
Yes.
Fearne Cotton.
Who's that?
Fearne Cotton?
Yeah, I know it is now.
Okay, good.
Is it Billy Cotton's daughter?
Yes, it is. It's Billy Cotton's band show.
Yeah.
Unlike Billy Cotton's banjo, which is something completely different.
I used to like that programme.
Oh, I bet you did.
I did?
I bet you... I don't know if you heard me. I said, I bet you did.
Right, thank you.
You're welcome. Next.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I actually reached for my bell there and it's not there. Yeah, go on. What you got?
I know you to call me a plonker once.
Carl Howman, brushstrokes.
Excuse me.
Carl Howman, brushstrokes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What have I got to answer?
No, there's no question. It's a statement.
Oh.
He sang the theme tune.
Yeah.
Here's
Can
a good
I have a little word in here?
Here's a text from Steve. I live in Houghton Regis, and I've not had a twit on a bike speed past my house in about a week. Nice one, Steve. Yes, what do you want?
Am I going to have a say now?
I don't know. Are you going to say now?
This all it... Excuse me, can you turn that radio, that music off?
It was Dexy's Midnight Runners that did the theme tune to Brushstrokes.
Okay.
Wella.
Are you ready?
I've been ready all my life. I've been ready for this.
Yeah, I know
just
that.
Dave, just one for a second, right? Pause for a second, right? Just think about this. Everything that has happened to you in your life,
yeah,
and mine,
yeah,
has been building up to this moment. Everything. The first time you held a guy's hand. The first time you made love to a first time you made love to an okay-looking woman. The first time you jumped out of your truck and fell down a manhole. The first time you smoked fags. The first time you had a booze up. All of these things have been building up to this moment, Dave. It's a very special moment. It's the culmination of all of our experiences, everything we've achieved, our hearts, our loves, our failures. Everything is building up to 8:42 on Tuesday, the 20-something of August 2015, Dave. And this is it. This is what it's all about. Dave, what has your life built up to? Over to Dave Luton.
What are you beefing on about? Hello? Oh, this is... Matt's right. He comes on, he says about... Matt comes on, he says about 10 words, and you say 200. Did we get a word in Edgware here? Hello? Oh, dear, oh, pray. Matt, can you come on? Or Dennis? Oh, dear, oh, pray. Hello? Can you turn the faders up? God, dear. It'd be news time in a minute, won't it? Hello? Dear, oh, pray. Or is my battery gone flat? Hello? Oh, dear. What a radio programme this is. Yes? Am I talking to myself here? Yes. Matt? Am I talking to myself? Yes. What the hell is going on in this radio station? Flipping it. Yeah. Just shut it, pal. Yeah, just shut it, pal. I'm talking to myself here. Yes. Yes. What are you beefing on about? This bloke is supposed to be presenting this programme. Who's that? Oh, have a guess. Who, you? He's back already, you know what I mean? Yes. Causing more grief. Hello? Just shut it, pal. Flipping it. Yeah, shut it, pal. Are you real? Yeah. Yes. You? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Hello? Good boy, slackers.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's very slow on the M25 anti-clockwise between junction 17 for Maple Cross and 16 for the M40, and in Stevenage on the A1M it's slow southbound from junction 7 for Stevenage, but the delays are back from Hitchin. In Roxton on the A1 Great North Road it's busy approaching the Black Cat roundabout from the Coneworth turnoff, and in Bedford the Bedford Southern bypass has queues on the exit slip road at St Neots Road. On the train departure boards there are no major delays showing up at the moment though. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. Look. Oh, blimey, it's 8:45. Look at that. 8:45, Tuesday the 25th of August. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. A shortage of carers means an elderly woman can't go home from Stoke Mandeville Hospital even though she's well. 2 police officers are to face misconduct hearings over the way they treated an autistic man in Luton, and a second Labour councillor has resigned from the cabinet of Luton Borough Council after an investigation into his conduct. Let's get the weather.
Beds, hearts and bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Good morning. It's a bright start across all 3 counties this morning. We have even a bit of sunshine as well, but gradually this will diminish and we're going to see the cloud arrive, and with it the rain arriving as well. Some heavier bursts through the afternoon accompanied by a strengthening wind. Maximum temperature likely to reach 18 Celsius. Still some outbreaks of rain overnight tonight. Some heavy bursts through the early hours of tomorrow morning. The wind continues to increase. Minimum temperature 13 Celsius. So a wet and windy start tomorrow morning, but gradually that will become drier and brighter. Some sunny spells in the afternoon as the wind falls light. Still the chance of a shower though. Maximum temperature 22 Celsius, and that's your forecast.
Tonight it's the League Cup second round. Watford travel to Preston. Great start to the Premier League season, but how are they going to get on against the Championship club?
Would you believe it? Odione Carlo!
MK Dons host Cardiff. Championship versus Championship. It's a tough one to call.
Carl Robinson is celebrating, and that is probably going to be enough to put MK Dons through.
And Luton entertain Premier League Stoke. Big game for the Hatters, but they usually do well when faced with a proposition like that.
Super goal from Luton Town. Really good goal.
Find out how all our teams do in the League Cup second round. Tonight from 7 here on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Did we get a word in edgeware here?
This is Iain Lee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Danny! Hello, Danny. You're outside, are you?
Yeah, outside in Dunstable.
Okay, this tone is really...
I just need a wee, mate.
You're outside in Dunstable. Take your pick.
No.
Anywhere.
No, I'm kind to Dunstable.
Okay, and that's a great slogan. We're gonna use that slogan. I'm kind to Dunstable.
Good, it's a nice
but
slogan.
I hate pigeons. What did we send you on? I forgot.
You asked me to go find out what people haven't done in years.
Oh well, yeah.
What haven't you done in years?
What did people say?
Just things like slides.
Okay. Are you literally about to tell me everything that's in the package?
Well, I could do, or you could just play it. What haven't you done in years?
You really want to know? Not saying. What haven't I done in years? Oh, crikey. Eating marshmallows.
When was the last time you ate a marshmallow?
Probably about 15 years ago.
Why did you stop?
I don't know.
You should get some now.
I know. I really should, shouldn't I?
Do you like marshmallows?
Yeah, I do actually. And I haven't melted them and dipped them in chocolate for ages. I think I should have gone back in and got some.
Yeah, go back in the shops and get some.
Maybe after work.
What haven't you done in years?
Sorry?
What haven't you done in years?
In years? I'm busy. I'm work at the moment.
What haven't you done in years?
Gone down a slide. That would be it. That would be it.
Well,
It's
there's one
a
over there.
Strange. Yeah, I know. It's a really strange question, that, isn't it?
Do you want to go on the slide now?
I don't really, because I think it should be pretty damp, wouldn't it?
What haven't I done in years? Climb trees.
Climb a tree.
Yeah.
How many years ago was that, do you think?
40 years at least.
I can't climb a tree. Is that bad?
Yes, you should climb trees and it's fun.
What haven't you done in years?
I ain't done nothing in years. What's that? What have you done in years?
What haven't I done in years? That's
Yeah.
what I said.
Yeah.
But you asked a different question.
No, but what haven't you done in years?
I haven't rode my scooter in years.
You happy with that?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
Really?
Yeah,
You think that is and this isn't a judgment. I'm just asking. Do you think that 1 minute of 25
Yep.
is BBC standard?
Well, I could have took the guy out who thought I said ears.
Could have took the guy who thought he said ears. All right.
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Yep. I'm hip and happening. That's
You're a
one.
hip and a hat.
Yep.
Kath, this is awkward. Do you want? I don't.
Hey, I'm just trying to speak the local lingo, and you're.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought you were fluent. That's what you put on your CV.
Oh, what, fluent in Dunstable?
I tell you what. But what we're going to do, Daniel.
Yes.
We're going to suspend you for 1 day.
Oh.
So you can think about what you've done, and then you can come back Thursday.
Oh, that's all right then.
No, it's a punishment.
No.
Suspended 1 full day with pay. So you haven't got to work for a day. You still get paid. You think about what you've done, and then you come in on Thursday. That's a punishment.
Okay. Well, am I allowed to play on my Xbox?
Oh. Don't
yes,
push it.
You are. You got a day. You
Cool.
know. So
Cool.
yeah, but it's a
I need
punishment.
to finish some games. It's getting a bit late.
Xbox 360 or Xbox One?
One.
Bye, Daniel.
Bye.
Unbelievable. Can you believe that attitude, Matt?
Can't believe it.
He's broken Britain, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
He's the
a great
Jeremy.
guy.
He's the Jeremy Kyle generation.
No, he's not.
Sorry.
You are.
What?
Oh, you flipped that on you.
You are as bad as Jeremy Kyle.
I'm as bad.
A pain in the arsenal.
I'm a pain in the arsenal. I'm as bad as Jeremy Kyle. Got the Jeremy Kyles. in the-
I'd like to speak to the programme presenter, Dennis, please.
You can't. It doesn't just.
Absolutely brilliant, that Dennis.
That was the guy that was the guy that was
Has
just
he been
on.
on holidays?
The guy. You mean the guy that was just on?
Dennis.
The guy that was just
great-
on, yeah.
A great entertainer.
Right. Hang on a second, Matt. The guy that was just on was Dave.
No, I want to speak to Dennis, please.
Why? What do you want to say to Dennis?
Because you cut him off as usual. You are so flaming ignorant, mate.
When did I cut?
It's a joke, you are.
When did I cut Dennis off?
10 minutes ago.
That was Dave.
No, it wasn't. It was Dennis.
That was Dave.
Okay. Whatever you say. Once again, you win
All
the
right.
argument.
We've got. Hang on.
You're
We've got
so
Dave. We got. What did you call me? We've got Dave on Fader 3. Do you want to say hello to Dave?
Yes, put Dave on, yes.
Go on then. I'm turning my mic off. I've gone. You two have a boring old man chat about the war and nylon stockings and your wives putting Omo in the window. You know what Omo stands for, don't you? Not that. Old man off. Old man off. And then the Americans
You
would
should
come
know
in
all
and.
about that.
Okay, say hello to Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Who's that?
This is Matt here.
Yeah, I know it is now.
You all right, Dave?
Yes,
What a lousy show this is, isn't it?
yes.
What's the matter? Can't you say anything else on it? Yes, is he...
Flipping it. Did we get a word in Edgware here?
No, we can't, mate. Anyway, it's nice to speak to you.
Are you real?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm real.
Have I won?
Have you won? I don't know what do you want to win, Dave?
What are you beefing on about?
would you beef and on? Would you like to spend a day in the Leicester Arms eating casserole?
I like the mushy peas. Just shut it, pal.
Okay, pal, you can shut it yourself.
We're boy slackers.
Happy Christmas anyway, Dave.
This is Iain Lee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
What's happened? Someone complained
Someone
again?
Can't come on.
Who can't come on?
Glenn, too busy. Too busy for us.
I don't want Glenn on. I didn't want him on anyway,
Good, he's
so
not coming
actually
on.
it works out in my favour because I did. Now, I never used to watch Cold Feet. Cold Feet was the British Friends.
I loved it.
The British Friends.
Well, it was a bit grittier than Friends.
Come on, it was the British Friends. Even one of them appeared in Friends. Which one of the Cold Feet?
Faye Ripley did.
No. Try again.
She was
the other
Emily.
one. Yeah, the English one.
Well, they were
In Friends.
They were all English in.
She's called the sort of slightly prissy one. And that's with an S, not a T.
Helen Baxendale.
Yes.
I've got a real spot for Faye Ripley.
Yeah.
She really is. She's if I were to describe my type in 2 words, those words would be Faye and Ripley. Faye Ripley. That's my type. Slightly wonky eye.
Bit horsey.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Imperfect.
Well, you know, aim low and you can attain.
I don't like James Nesbitt. He pulled me off in a toilet once.
He's a twinkler. I like James Nesbitt.
I was about to go to for a wee-wee in the toilet at the Comedy Awards.
Yeah.
Did he offer you some spray?
Interestingly enough, no. And he pulled me off.
Oh, what did you say?
I said, stop pulling... I didn't... What I should have said was, what are you pulling me off for? I didn't. I went, all right, yeah.
Why? He wanted to go first.
Let me go first. I want to go into the toilet first. Get out of the way.
He grabbed...
Sounds like Martin Luton.
He grabbed me. This is true story. He grabbed me.
Get out of the way. I want to go first.
And I let him in. The toilets were very, very busy at the Comedy Awards.
Well, people laugh a lot.
Someone's dead.
Danny.
Wow.
People laugh a lot and you need to go to the loo. It's a fact.
Yeah. I bet John Thompson's nice.
Yeah.
Bet he's a nice lad. Robert Bathurst, I couldn't care less about him.
He's posh.
Just boring posh man. And Hermione Norris couldn't care less. Anyway, Helen Baxendale's dead.
What?
So she won't be in it.
Oh, no, she did die, didn't she? Oh,
Yeah.
that was terrible.
So they're going to bring it back. Mega hit.
It was.
ITV drama Cold Feet will return for a new series 12 years after its final episode. What could possibly go
They
wrong?
should just leave it alone. It was fine.
They should call it New Cold Feet with young people in it.
Old feet.
Hey.
And you win the prize for the Sun headline.
Oh, they beat me to it.
The broadcaster is thought to have secured the cast, including Hermione Norris and James Nesbitt, i.e. the successful two, to join the biggest TV comeback in recent memory. I don't think it was the biggest TV comeback. I think that would have been when they did Open All Hours 2 Christmases ago. It's expected to return to the channel's flagship Sunday 9pm slot, left empty when Downton Abbey ends later this year. Flipping heck. Cold Feet was its most popular 90s drama. It is very
It's so 90s.
What sums up the 90s? Cold Feet, 30-something, was that 90s? That was early 90s.
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
What?
80s, mate.
Oh, they were my 90s.
Oh, do you remember
Young.
Party of Five?
Yeah, I do remember that, mate.
Party of Five.
Saved by the Bell.
A TV source revealed, a.k.a. made-up person, Cold Feet is coming back. The deal is very nearly done. Filming will begin early next year and the new series will be ready to go by next spring. Go, here comes the boss! And then they shoot off. Helen Baxendale, whose character Rachel was killed off in a lorry...
Don't.
No, this is funny.
But you know how they met in the
Hang on.
first place?
Yeah, go
She
on.
reversed into him in a car park.
Helen Baxendale, whose character Rachel was killed off in a lorry smash in a major plot twist during the final series in 2003, is unlikely to return. No, you don't say!
Travel news for beds, cards, and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
There are queues on the A1M southbound through Stevenage from junction 8 for Hitchin. Also in Roxton on the A1 Great North Road, it's very busy approaching the Black Cat roundabout from the Coneworth turnoff. Also in Bedford on the A421, there are delays between the Great Barford bypass and St Neots Road. In Watford on the Lower High Street, it's very busy at the Bushy Arches, and there are no delays showing up on the train departure boards at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. That's it, guys. That's your lot for today. I'm off to watch my sister say goodbye to my mum and then go and visit the house I grew up in. Man alive. It's going to be a tough old day today. Oh, don't forget, you can get the podcast of the show. When I was away, we recorded a podcast to put out in case I died. Potholing. I didn't die potholing. Flipping it. All right, Jingle, calm down. I didn't die potholing, but the podcast managed to sneak its way online anyway. If you go to iTunes and type in Iain Lee, it pops up. You can have some of that. Thank you, Daniel San. Thank you, Kelly Betts. Thank you, Catherine. Till tomorrow at 6. Ta-ta.
Local and vocal across Beds, Herts and Bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Ian. Good morning. Welcome to the JVS show. I'm Jonathan Vernon Smith. It's Tuesday. It's 9 o'clock. And on today's big phone-in, do you agree with Angela Merkel that the UK should take in more migrants? The German Chancellor has said all EU member states must fairly share the burden of dealing with the migrant crisis. Speaking before talks in Berlin with the French President, Francois Hollande, Angela Merkel said Europe needed to act together to deal with the chaotic scenes in Greece and the Western Balkans as desperate migrants tried to reach the EU. She said the UK must take in more migrants just like Germany has. Well, this morning I want to hear your response. Do you agree with Angela Merkel that the UK should take in more migrants? Pick up the phone, come on and have your say. Here's my telephone number this morning. It's 03459 455 555.
This is the JVS show
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
I'll take your call in just a second, but first let's get the latest BBC News at 9 o'clock. Here's Lee Agnew.
A pensioner from Watford is stuck in Stoke Mandeville Hospital because of the difficulty of finding carers for her. 87-year-old Margaret Morn was given the all clear by doctors more than 2 weeks ago, but is still waiting to go home. Former NHS Trust Chairman Roy Lilly says it highlights a widespread problem.
The Home Care Association, which is the organisation that represents people who are doing home care, are saying, look, we're just not getting enough money in terms of fees from local government, and some of our members are going to go broke and we won't be able to do it. There is a funding crisis in social care.
2 Bedfordshire police officers will face a misconduct hearing over the way they treated an autistic man. The officers have already been cleared of assaulting Farouk Ali. Farouk's brother Dobir says he wants police car camera footage of the incident to be made public.
On that video, you could see that my brother was walking away and they turned around and, laughing, giggling. And this is why it's very, very important that the video is released.
A second Labour councillor has resigned from the cabinet of Luton Borough Council after an investigation began into his conduct.